iteration because I liked it when it was originally on the CW when it was a comedy, but then when they changed it to BET and they made it a drama, I was like, but I stuck with it because Tasha Mack is a underrated black character icon. I'm gonna say that till I die.
That's a fact.
So much so that when
I
they
put her up there with Jax.
Yeah, I put up there too. I put up there with Tasha Mack.
She was excellent.
I forget her name. Her name is Wendy Robinson, I think. She is like the in my opinion, it's between her and the woman. Who's the woman that played Gina? What's her name? Tisha
Campbell, yeah.
I put her and Tisha Campbell, and I even put Tashina Arnold in this, like in that category of like they're like the black version of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, as far as like black women in comedy that can do anything, that can be on any TV show and make it better. Like, I'm not trying to compare it to a white woman, but that's like the only one that I could think of that can stand on her own and get her own TV show as a comedian, like in comedy.
Because she was in the other show with Kim with Dwayne Martin. The little boy. Yeah, she was good on there.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
With Lisa Ray. It was Lisa Ray, Dwayne Martin.
It was Lisa Ray. No, that was the same woman who was the mama off of the Hughleys. That's not her. Yeah.
Hey, do y'all remember Playmakers?
Yeah, that was one of the best TV shows ever.
They made them take NFL made them take it. The NFL made them take it off.
Like,
was that the show that had the dude who was getting away with the drug test where he had to inject like
Cuba Gooding Jr. I already know what y'all talking.
Omar.
Yep.
Omar,
I already know what y'all talking about.
That was an excellent show.
It was a good show.
I don't know how he did that.
My man, Frank and Moesha Daddy.
Yep.
Moesha Daddy was a scumbag, bro. He was a scumbag on that show.
One of the worst black dads on television
ever. That no one ever talks
easily.
About.
Yeah, he like runs away with it.
And I blame the writers because they made Ray J his son, which threw away the whole series, basically.
All right.
We'll go check out The Game, the spinoff on Paramount Plus. It's canceled, but they got a good 2 seasons.
And Reasonable Doubt.
Oh, it's on Paramount Plus?
Not Reasonable Doubt. That's on Hulu. The Game spinoff.
No, I'm talking about
Paramount. Yeah.
Yes.
Where they got the older version of Jason's daughter, and all I'm gonna say is it's worth 2 seasons to see that.
That's funny.
All right, let's jump into the show. I think we got a lot to cover tonight.
Wait, hold on.
Some people got
D360. Hey, look, I bought the cheapest, best one possible.
Oh yeah, you're
It so happened to glow in the dark.
Yep.
Boy, that's the cheapest right best there. Possible.
Got OnlyFans, Mike.
That's a pause right there. Man.
Hey, but you know what though? Look, I've been listening to some of the playbacks, and I'm like, bro, my shit is horrible. Let me go ahead and just spread a little bit of cheese.
That wasn't your mic. That was your take.
I know we're not talking about bad takes with the man sitting in the middle over there. Would you go what 1 and 3?
Don't worry about what happened.
Mr. 4-0. Mr. 4-0 this week. Talk to me nice. 4-0.
Yep, me too. It's 3 of us that went 4-0.
All I'm gonna say is those was close games except for one of them. They was.
All right. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead End Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we have Shelton, Spike, Nick, and FIFO. What up, y'all?
Q pulled a Nick Sirianni this week.
You gonna come back to
that, man. Don't do that.
For as much football as we watch, it's not even. Again, we're only a third way through the season. There's still hella football left. There's more than twice. Damn, almost.
I feel like it's over. I feel like it's over for some of us, though, Nick. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, we're gonna get to it, bro. I'm surprised you still got the. I don't know why you got the hat on.
Bro, I was gonna tell you, Spike, not to wear that shit, bro.
FIFO called me. I hit decline on FIFO so quickly on Sunday. I knew what he was. Like, nigga, I'm not answering the phone down 30-6 at halftime.
And FIFO asshole with it too. You'll pick up the phone and he'll ask you about something else to get you thrown off. And then the last thing he'll ask you is about that.
Oh man, but we're not starting with the NFL. We're not starting with that, right? There was breaking news, right? Did you change the thing?
No. We ain't starting with that just yet either.
All right, okay. I know you said you were changing some things up. I just wanted to
because we didn't get a chance to do our weekly Deion Sanders
no
post game.
I know, man.
That's why I wanted to start off with that.
Yeah, they played at 10:15. I watched the whole thing. It was up, but yeah, we didn't, which is unfortunate because a lot of people were talking a lot of crap to us, but nevertheless, we'll get into it. At least I know they were calling me out.
They always saying they don't know what the fuck they talk about.
I mean, Ken have been hating on Deion for 2 years though.
Bro, I just been calling it like I see it, bro. I haven't been off yet, man. But speaking of Deion, there were some amazing football games over the weekend, with the biggest ones happening on the West Coast. You had Kansas State versus Colorado, in which they lost 31-28, and Ohio State versus Oregon, in which Ohio State lost 31-32. Which game stood out to you the most?
I'll start off. It was the Ohio State Oregon game, which if you were in a coma or fell asleep and didn't see the Bama Georgia game and were awake to watch this one, you would have came away saying this is the best game of the year. Because I've never seen a matchup 2 versus 3, like top 4, top 5. Well, not say never, but it's been a long time since I've seen one where like it lives up to the billing. Like usually they'd be like blowouts one way or the other, or some type of bullshit where it's not really a good game. They was going at it. Like this was like program versus program. Obviously with Oregon and them coming into the Big Ten, like they're trying to prove that they belong in the conference that everybody knows. Like there's really only 2 conferences in college football. It's SEC and Big Ten. Like everybody else really don't matter. Like we talk about them just to talk about them. But when we come down to championship, who winning chips, it's between those 2 conferences. And seeing like that, and then there was like some grown man moves made, I think by one of the wide receivers I was calling out in our group chat, like, yeah. And it ended on some goofball shit because Ryan Day-Seed is hot. Ryan Day-Seed is hotter than anybody's in the league right now. Even I'm talking about professional and college. Like that's the way that ended was so stupid, but it was a great game.
That was a brilliant move too. If it's true that he did it on purpose, I heard he did it on purpose. He rushed out the 12th man to use clock time to make sure that they didn't score, and it left the Ohio State with no time left, and then
but they had a timeout. That's what's going to get them fired. Yeah, they had one timeout.
Just not smart.
Who did Ohio State?
Ohio State,
but they ran the play. The timeout didn't matter. They didn't know. Like they ran the play. The time was going to come off the clock regardless.
Yeah, I'm saying the fact that the time management leading up to that. If you are, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, okay. Before you even get to that point where you
why are you getting to that point? Yeah, exactly. There should be no time where we have one timeout left when the clock runs down, because somebody's gonna ask what the fuck happened.
But it was a brilliant move nonetheless by Oregon's head coach to pull that off. I wouldn't have thought to do that. I've never seen it done in a game before, so that was it won you the game in essence. So now I will say the Kansas State Colorado game had a lot more explosives. It was fun to watch. Not Shador, but Shallow Shallow made so many bad plays. I don't know if y'all seen this. Did y'all see his low light rim?
Yes.
That thing looked terrible. I felt so bad for him. I was like, man, this is and Deion, to Deion's credit, he called him out after the game. Basically, was like, he played like shit, man. He looked bad. He got to get right. But yeah, they had.
He had been hurt too, though, man.
He been out. He been out a minute, and Giddens.
I I thought he broke his leg after breaking his arm.
Hey, he did
He
break
was
him
getting
down.
He was
man.
getting back. He was getting
Yeah.
back acclimated to football speed. So I ain't gonna hold Shallow too much. First of all, happy birthday, Q. And you know it was your birthday, man.
Oh, yeah,
happy
happy
birthday
birthday,
Oh,
to
happy
you.
birthday. Happy birthday,
And
bro.
hey, Asha.
Happy birthday.
As far as the Oregon and Ohio State game, I think this was a big moment for college football because, like you said, Nick, Alabama, Georgia, yeah, you expect that, but then you get an Oregon and you get an Ohio State at this point in the season, and it's this good, and you still got the playoffs to hold on to. I don't think Ryan Day is in any trouble. They'll beat Michigan. They're a lot better than Michigan this year, so they still will get in the playoffs. And who knows what happens when they get in the playoffs? I think more so than it was a loss for anybody else, it was a win for college football this weekend. Because you got Kansas State, that was the 18th ranked team. Colorado stuck with them. We've been saying Colorado should be able to compete with these type of teams. They did go out and compete. They should win a couple more games. I heard y'all talking about it before. It's the mic still on, Ken, as far as how many games they got to go and what they should win. So they should go to a bowl game. I don't know if that's going to keep Deion around in Colorado, but it's at least interesting for college football. And now you got Oregon, it's the number 2 team in the nation. You got Ohio State, got to beat Michigan. Then you got the whole playoff thing about the playoff. You got Shelton's favorite player, Boise State. College football is in a very, very good place right now.
Yeah, that Oregon game was interesting. And filled with idiotic decisions. Mainly about the quarterback, Howard. Like, what are you doing? And I read what he said was that I have a couple of issues with how that last play went down. You call a flood concept with 6 seconds left on the clock, which means you need to execute that play in 3 to 4 seconds, which means that the receivers got to get into their route, break to the sideline, and then you got to make the throw. All of that stuff has to happen like quickly. And, you know, I don't know how deep the routes were on that play that they said, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get that off in 6 seconds. So it was a very, very risky move. I think if anything, he could have actually called a QB scramble. We've seen that happen before, where they'll drop back, call a QB scramble, you go get maybe 4 or 5 yards, get down real quick, timeout. You know, he could have did that, which is ultimately what Howard was trying to do when he saw no one was open. But once you drop back, you've lost 3 seconds once you drop back to look around. At that point, you're only like, what are you going to do? So it was just a bad decision. I was like, there's no way they're going to get this off unless it was going to be a quick slant. And so when I saw they were calling like deeper routes, medium to deep routes, I was like, what in the hell's going on? And then he scrambled. It's just like, he just looked like a goofball. It's just like, bro, what are you doing? Are you gonna put your head on here? Like,
bro,
like what?
That's the reason why Ryan Day got a hot seat for me, bro. Because it's not because I was going back and forth with Kyle in the chat. He's somewhat right. It's not a foregone conclusion they're gonna beat Michigan, and especially if they lose to this Michigan team, who's ranked barely in the top 25 at this point. He's fired. And then like for Will Howard I was about to call him Ron Howard. to slide like it's the slip and slide to end the game on the road. It was just it just looked like bad coaching. And you got a timeout, like you're going home with the time. All the timeouts left, you got one left, and it comes with an L. It's a bundle package. Like on the road in Oregon, when you could have been the number 1 team in the country, right? Coming out of this week if you would have beat them.
Yep. But we ain't gonna let Colorado off the hook. You know, I said in the chat, they can beat this team. They proved to me that they can beat this team until they couldn't. And, you know, Shedeur lost a lot of weapons. One could say that if he had Horn and Hunter, we may have gotten a different outcome, but it did not impact his performance. Statistically, Kansas State secondary ain't the best in the world. And I felt like the decision by the Kansas State coach, he was playing the clock. He knew Colorado isn't the best up front and he could run on them all day, and he did that. But eventually Colorado caught up and they started shutting down the run. Their quarterback, Avery Johnson, got hurt, so his mobility was impacted because he runs the ball. I think he was on record saying he's the fastest person on the team or something like that. And but when he got hurt on a non-contact play, I think that they couldn't even call running plays for him. So when they got the interception in the red zone, that's where we could say almost that they lost the game. Shedeur just had an awful throw, as great as he played that whole game. He just threw it right to the safety. They didn't do anything with it, though. And they get the ball back. And we were in the chat, and I was, we were talking to Kyle. I was like, yo, they got a shot to win this game based on what I'm seeing from Kansas State. And Colorado got some momentum. Shadeur's out here dealing, and they came back, they took the lead. The problem is they didn't hold it. And I just, man, I'm like, when they got the lead, I was like, they're going to win this game because Kansas State can't really pass all that well. And we ain't seen it all night. And Shelton said they better get it to, what's that guy's name? Giddens
in number one was balling.
Next play, hit him on this flat wheel right or whatever on the outside. He was up the field, and then Jace Brown just cooked whoever that cornerback was. And last thing, Nick, like 4th and 3. Why the hell are you throwing the ball down the field, Shedeur? That's a poor decision. Pick up the first down. They should have won that game, man. They had that game, bro.
They should have won that game. I'm not gonna kill Shedeur because he's been balling. He's been more and more proven to me that he's starting to get better at it, being considered like a grade 1 first round pick, top 10 pick. Like, I was on the fence on him being top 10 just based off of what I've been seeing, because I was gonna ask, like, I ain't never seen a top 10 pick who won 8 games in his college career when they're talking about playing in the big leagues. But
you have.
Yes, you did.
Sure you have. Daniel Jones,
Trubisky, all those guys. Josh Allen.
Drake May.
No, you just ain't never seen a black one.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting.
You should have said black. I ain't never seen a black dude.
That's what I thought was baked into the conversation. But yeah, I was like, because they just now started drafting us in the first round, just like 5 years ago.
You gotta be superhuman.
So I'm not used to that. But he's continuously showing a lot of improvement. I like what he's doing there. I will say though, this defense can get cooked randomly, and the sunshine looking nigga who like you mentioned, kid, wasn't doing much shit. He threw the best ball I've seen him throw that whole game at the time you needed him to, because pressure was coming. He got smacked right after that. Like that, it was a touch throw too. It was perfect, right? And then the corner, like you mentioned, got burnt, and that was it. And they was ready to talk cash shit. Nigga was flexing before he got to the end zone. So it was a bad loss, but it was at home too. So the crowd, all the white people had their hand on their head.
Yeah.
But they got Arizona, Cincinnati, and Texas Tech. That's their next 3. They're on the road for Arizona and Texas Tech. They're at home in Cincinnati, against Cincinnati. They have to go 3-0. They got Utah after Texas Tech. So that's the next big one. Utah was ranked at the time earlier this season. They're not no more, but
they lost their quarterback.
They lost their quarterback.
Yeah, he's out for the year. Cam Rising is out for the year today.
And he's coming back next year for his.
Man, he got like 10 years. How many?
This is his 8th year.
Yeah,
in college.
Yeah. He's not playing it.
Crazy.
No, he's not playing.
He got to get his doctorate if he.
Next year will be his 8th year. This is 7th year. Next year will be his 8th.
That's not a joke. Cam Rising been in college forever. I was in college with Cam.
So okay, with that news, then they should definitely go 4-0 then. Like they should be 8-2 by the time we get to Kansas, or they're on the road to Kansas, because they should be able to beat all those teams. Now, of course, I'm gonna have my Cincinnati bias, and I will root against them for that game. But all in all, that shouldn't be a game that they lose, and it's gonna be a late night game on the October 26th, a Saturday. At 10:15 on ESPN, but coming up against on the road at Arizona, they should beat Arizona. Like that should be a good game. That should be a lot of fireworks to watch, because Arizona, they throw the ball around pretty good. They got that McMillan, that wide receiver, is one of the top best receivers. Yeah, so they would have won this game. I think if you had Travis Hunter playing corner, he would have been out there on that receiver that caught that pass. Losing him in the game when they did,
that really, well, of course, it's going to hurt. Travis Hunter, the best player in the country. So to stick in that game like they did and to come back and take the lead, I felt like Colorado showed that they belong. It's just a matter of getting to the next level at this point. Like you said, they should win these next couple games, and we'll really see what they're made of coming out. That defensive line, more than anything, has been surprising and stepped up. They had went a number of games without allowing a 100-yard rusher, which I didn't even notice that. I didn't even think about that till they said it this past week. Now, Giddens ran wild on them, but until that point, these guys have been stepping up on defense, and that was what they were their weakest point other than the offensive line. So the fact that they stood up and played ball the way they did Saturday, that was saying a lot. If they had won that game, that would have been a statement game.
I will say I feel more closer to what Ken has been preaching over the last 2 years. If, like you say, Nick, they go 8-2 and they build something and they go to a bowl game or whatever it may be, and then Deion dip after this season, like everybody suspects he will, I will look at him kind of funny. If he don't stay there and build it out after a good, because frankly, they've overachieved, especially if they go out, like you saying, they go out, they win the rest of these games, they go to a decent bowl game. Like, I would definitely love to see what would be next, what would be up next year, how would he build on that versus wanting to see him leave.
Well, I have a theory that I just thought about as you were talking now, Lou. I think Deion is going to leave Colorado because Shador is going to get drafted somewhere. And I think because that place that he's going to get drafted is going to have to be a shitball team, because I'm expecting to be top 10. They may be looking for a head coach too.
Mm.
Could
That's
this
the only way he goes somewhere like Carolina.
Could this be a bundle package of you draft my son, I'll coach your team, I got the cachet, I'm already gonna put asses in the seats, from Colorado to Jackson State to now wherever the fuck. If Carolina would be a great spot for that, because they ain't know what the hell they doing. He can be like, let me do the Bill Belichick thing where I run everything. Damn near.
If I'm David Tepper and I'm Carolina, I would do that to try to save face. I got so much bad fan publicity. Bringing Deion in there is going to turn it around. If I could draft Shador and hire Deion, I would do that. If I was the Carolina Panthers and if I was the Raiders, I would 100% get rid of Antonio Pierce for Deion Sanders and Shador.
I would see doing it with the Raiders more so than Carolina, because Carolina just hired that young coach. They just hired him. I'm Nick. I'm with you.
Is he Deion?
But Tepper is known for having a quick trigger finger and pulling these coaches out. They've had 8 coaches in 6 years, 5 years.
Why stop now?
Especially if it's Deion. This is a once in a lifetime thing. As far as the marketing of it, not as far as coaching ability, but just having Deion as your coach and you the Panthers, that'll never happen in their franchise again. I
don't see Tepper favoring the brothers like that. No, I don't see Tepper giving up a lot of control that way. That's just he ain't.
Well, I don't think. I disagree with Nick in that. He's not going to be a GM. Ain't going to be no GM deal.
Yeah, he's proven what's logical. He's not going to do anyway. That's the biggest thing. If it makes sense to do, Tepper going to do the opposite.
Well, my thing is, we know that you've been wrong a lot too, though, Shelton. So
about what part on that? Tell me what I've been wrong about with Tepper.
Well, now I think that's one of the few places that we agree is with the Carolina Panthers, but you've been wrong about them Eagles.
We talking about this. We gonna get to that.
I know. I'm just providing context.
People came back in hot. He wasn't even on the screen. He came back just talking about that.
Hey, this that hierarchy of yelling. His kid yelled at him. People not coming to show.
Y'all talk about the Panthers, but fuck the Eagles. That's what
people. You said Jameis Winston was the man. Don't forget
that. Last thing, we'll move to NFL. I think from a business standpoint, Deion does move the needle. So whoever decides to do the bundle thing, it would make sense. But his coaching, his time management is awful. And if he would have had some of those timeouts he burned, he probably could have gotten the ball back and got a chance to steal a win there. But
can I ask a question really quick before you move on, Ken?
Mm-hmm.
Would y'all look at this differently from how you looked at LeBron and how he manipulated Bronny's situation? If Deion used this to get him a head coaching job, similar to how LeBron used his fame to get Bronny a job, is this the same thing or different?
Nah, because Shador's actually top 10 worthy. That was the only
Dion's not though. That's what I'm saying. Dion's not.
Then again,
Dion's like Bronny in this situation. He's
Well,
like,
to me,
not really.
I'll say this though. Not to cut you off real quick, but if Dion can get Colorado to 8 wins, or 8+ wins or whatever, a bowl game and all that stuff, if he can do that, then he's done something that no one has done in Colorado in some years. So he's showing that he's talented, at least on that end. And on top of that, I got a top 10 QB. Like, as great as LeBron is, it's almost the complete opposite of how good Bronny is. Like, when it comes to NBA scale.
The dad is the son, and the son is the dad in this scenario.
But I guess I still wouldn't say that though, Luke, because I mean, I ain't saying what kind of coach Dion is, but Dion is a master recruiter, and if he can put people around him that's successful, he can be successful. Whereas Bronny ain't really nothing you can do with Bronny at this point. So that's the real difference. Bronny ain't got no hope.
Musa, Shador got to stop taking stupid sacks. He be losing 20 yards by drifting out of the pocket into pressure. That won't work in the league. It absolutely will not.
It won't.
He's slow as hell too, by the way. So I don't know why he doing.
Not as hell.
He'll get coached out of that.
Yeah. He's slow as hell. But Musa, you're exactly right. He does have to have better pocket awareness. What he's been able to do is he'll take a 20-yard sack, but he'll come back and throw the ball 30 yards down the field. You can't. I was saying it in the chat. I said he do it like I did on the game when I'm playing PlayStation, trying to pack up on stats. That's kind of how he plays the game. But I think he rushed for negative 50 yards in this game. Well, you can't do that in the pro level. You're gonna get killed out there like that,
bro. We all saw the nigga try to juke somebody, and it looked garbage. the nigga, he tried to juke somebody. Dude just stood there watching him. And then he like, "What you done?"
He didn't get his daddy's feet. He didn't get his daddy's feet. So
well, he better be thankful.
Right. His daddy walk around like Penguin.
Y'all wrong, man.
That's funny.
You got that cobble pot foot.
Can't be 10 toes down no more.
He said he can't be 10 toes. Sean, he can only stand on business. He can't stand 10 toes.
Oh man,
y'all wrong as hell.
Oh man. All right, man. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers trading for Davante Adams. The New York Jets suffered a heartbreaking loss to the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football, 23-20. Immediately afterward, they began finalizing a trade to reunite Davante with Aaron Rodgers. Will this trade save the Jets' 2-4 season? The Raiders received a conditional 3rd-round draft pick in the trade that could improve to a 2nd-round selection. Just some details about the trade on the Raiders side. And sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter, if Adams is a 1st or 2nd team All-Pro this season or is on the Jets active roster for the AFC Championship game or Super Bowl. So that's what we got yet. So they fired a coach. They were in the game. We could argue the kicker has cost them 2 games this year. The Bronco game, clearly.
Yes.
And they didn't clean up the penalties right. Yeah.
Oh man.
So
that touchdown with Braylon Allen, that's the game right there.
Yeah. That holding call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Ken, that's funny. You said Aaron Rodgers traded for him.
He did.
But he really did.
He really did.
To answer your question, I don't think so. I don't have the faith in Aaron Rodgers that a lot of people do. And I see, I hear, oh wow, what a throw, this, that, and the other. Aaron Rodgers hadn't thrown for 300 yards in 3 or 4 years. But they talk about these great throws. Yeah, he does make a great throw, in game. He makes all the great throws. But it doesn't matter if it's empty calories and you're not getting the job done. I do think Davante Adams does add something to this team, but it speaks volumes when you blame Mike Williams on microphone for costing you that game, whether it's right or wrong. He's saying it. You don't come out and say nothing like that.
It's the right thing to do.
Disgusting.
This is why I
I
fuck with
don't see
Rodgers.
how you like him, Nick. This is
Lou,
That's
crazy.
awful, man. That's
I hate.
awful.
Oh my
And
God!
Lou,
that's disgusting.
Lou, I hate how hypocritical you are because I keep bringing this up. All those bad white villains you be watching on TV that you root for, like Tony Soprano, Logan Roy, whatever the fuck. But you come to me telling me that Aaron Rodgers is somebody you can't stand
I
and
hate him.
demise. Like hell
Oh
nah.
my
I
God!
fuck with Rodgers with that because
He
Mike
always
Williams.
got to be right.
yeah.
Mike
But
Williams.
look,
That's
but
who
we
he
all
is.
saw the same thing though. We all saw the same thing, like especially that first drop when what was it? The Bills showed pressure, then they backed out of it. And Mike Williams, you know what I'm saying, was just lackadaisical. And Aaron put the ball on him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a first down. The other one on the interception, you know, it was a little underthrown, this, that, and the third. It is what it is. But Mike Williams just you could tell that A-Rod don't trust him. And when I do, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not making the plays I need you to make. Alan Lazard is as mediocre as he is. A-Rod trust him. Like that throw, bro. Like what the hell was that? Now, Shelton, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? A-Rod has not been dominant in some time, and he definitely makes all the throws. I think Davante marginally makes them better. I'm not saying that they're going to be world beaters or Super Bowl winners now with Davante, but those catches and just that rhythm, that idiosyncrasy, that chemistry that you know what I'm saying, don't even have to. I just look at you and you know what you need to do. That comes now with Davante. And here's the other thing too. During the telecast, they were talking about how many times Garrett Wilson was targeted, but he's not
The
producing.
least amount of catches in those targets. He for anybody that's targeted as much as him, he has the least amount of catches.
Yep. And I can't say it's all either Aaron Rodgers and or Garrett Wilson. It's a weird combination because like the touchdown, you're saying like that was a hell of a move he put on the DB, turned him around, caught the ball, but then here comes Taylor Rapp, boom, you know what I'm saying, hits it out of him. So at the end of the day, Davante definitely makes them better, but how far they go with him, marginal.
Davante will help them. I was gonna say he'll help them sneak into the playoffs. Yes, like they'll win 9 games or 10 games, however it may be, and they'll get into the last seed, the 7th seed, or whatever it may be for the AFC playoffs. But they won't do much better than that. And then what do you expect from Aaron Rodgers after this season? Even if you have Davante Adams, like this is Aaron Rodgers' last season being above average. Like there isn't going to be a next season where you come out here and you expect him to take you to the playoffs, where you expect him to do all of these things. So this is a attempt for them to at least salvage a season and get to the playoffs, which I think they'll do. And I still think it was wrong by Robert Saleh to do all of these things after you fired him. You could keep him on board and still hire, still bring in
Davante.
the receiver. Yeah, still bring in Davante and give him the opportunity to show that he can coach. They were better last year without Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh than they are right now.
See, well, part of that, hold on, Nick. Part of that is the defense. The defense was more dominant last year. This defense
it's still a top 5 defense, though.
Yeah, they give him one.
We talked about that last week when he got fired. All of the defensive categories all of the defensive categories are top 5.
But you could be top 5, top 10, whatever, but it's not as dominant, right? Like because dominance doesn't always show up in the stat book. And they're just not as physical. They're not as dominant. Not saying that they're a bad defense, by no means, right? Like the stats prove that they are a pretty good defense. They're just not as dominant as they once were.
But I would say to you for that FIFO is like, look how much the offense puts on them this season.
Yeah.
For them to still be out there as much as they are, for them to still be top 5. And I said, I think it says a lot. And I'm with you on that, Lou. That's what I was telling when he got fired. I was like, why are you doing this right before a game where we could win? We could be number 1 in the division. Why are you doing this before, as we're leading up to Davante Adams trade talks, and he only wants you or the Saints? You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait until that figures itself out, and then judge him off of like. I was like, give him 2 more games. Like we still only a third through the season, and you want to go fire people. I thought that was wrong, but the offense did look a little bit better. At least it was moving better this week. However, I have no issue with Aaron Rodgers calling out Mike Williams. Who the fuck is Mike Williams for us to be wondering like, oh, we gotta go do a GoFundMe.
You wouldn't be cool with no other
man.
quarterback in the league doing it.
No,
like, you can't say, "Oh, he ran the wrong route anyway." Nigga, shut up. Like, get the ball there.
Yeah, I will be cool if you're right. If this was Jamar, if this was Justin Jefferson, and the quarterback called him out like that, I'm with y'all. Hell nah, you don't do that fucking shit. Cause them niggas is A1. We talking about Mike Williams. Not Mike Will made it. Not Mike Will made it.
It don't matter. As the leader of that franchise. Yeah, as the leader of that franchise. Aaron Rodgers
he just got there.
Aaron Rodgers? And you're right.
He just got there, and he's never been the leader that y'all want him, that y'all's trying to make him to be with this comment. He's never been Rodgers. Yes.
Rodgers? Yeah, right. So that's why we're paying you to come to New York and be.
Right.
You may not have been in Green Bay. You're supposed to be it now.
He get all the praise and all the love, and he's the savior. You know, you talk about champions. The champions were working out with their team in the summertime. Aaron Rodgers was in China. I don't even we want to hear that.
They're excused, by the way, Sheldon. The coach didn't even know he was going to be in China. He thought he was going to be in training camp.
Man, come on, man.
What are we talking about here?
But you saying again, you're saying that like the Jets didn't know he was acting like that in Green Bay before he got there. This ain't the first time he went to do ayahuasca. We knew that before. This ain't the first time he. This ain't the first time he called.
Why does he get so much grace?
Why are you getting an excuse for it?
I'm not giving an excuse for what I've already accepted. My thing is this: again, he's called out wide receivers before in Green Bay. He did all this shit in Green Bay. So you think that he gonna act different with you just because she broke up with that nigga and you put a ring on her finger? Don't mean she gonna act that much different. That's all I'm trying to say. So if you accepted who he was when you picked this, when you signed him and got all his friends and all his homies, no. Him calling out Mike Williams, who's not going to be on, I don't think we'll ever see him on the field again after that. You know what I'm saying? Now, especially now you got Davante. You know what I'm saying? And especially with Allen Lazard. Allen Lazard is tied with the most touchdowns at wide receiver right now. You know what I'm saying? Like at number 1. So it's like Allen Lazard as a number 3 is doing more than Mike Williams is doing anyway as a number 2 or whatever he was on the roster. My thing is this: I have no problem with him doing that because Mike Williams fucked up. Everybody's number is on 10. Because, like you said, Lou, this is a one and done year. If y'all don't win, if they don't get to at least the AFC Championship game, everybody getting fired. Point blank. Period. Nick, so why are we worried about this? Why are we worried about that?
I'll put it in your terms right now, Nick. Aaron Rodgers carries himself like the bad chick, but she got like 6 kids, and she still try to approach you and talk to you like I ain't got no kids. Like my body's bad, and I'm still this. But yeah, you still got 6 kids over there. Hold on. Like Aaron Rodgers carries himself like that.
And to use your analogy, this is who we gonna talk about. This is basically Bernice Burgos with 6 kids. You still entertaining her, ain't you?
Still got 6 kids.
You still entertaining her though, Lou, right? You still bringing her over to the crib. You still gonna make it.
Yeah, but the kids ain't coming. Gotta go. But the kid's not coming.
And that's why Mike Williams, one of them kids named Mike FIFO. He left his ass back. He leaving his ass wherever he at.
But I tell you what, for a person who seems to have an excuse for everything, there's no more excuses anymore, Aaron Rodgers. You got to show up and play football now. You got everything you've asked for. You had Randall Cobb, you had Lazard, you done brought all your people. I get why you like him, because he brought all his brothers with him. Cool, you got everybody. Now you got Davante Adams. You got the 2-headed monster at running back. You got everything that you need to be successful. There's no more excuses. Right now, you're going to be treated like black quarterbacks treated from week 1.
No, you're right. There are no excuses. There are no excuses. He got his boy. The reason why I've been on the Jets bandwagon this year or since they signed Rodgers, because if you told me a roster as talented as they have now has gotten better, and on top of that, you have Aaron Rodgers, who is still a top 15 quarterback to me, it's like they should at least get, like, if I see Joe Flacco off the couch being couch potato of the year in Cleveland and now in this looks like an Indy, like I think Aaron Rodgers can take this roster far. So I still believe in him. I think they're gonna bounce back.
They'll go to the playoffs.
Drew, A-Rod gets Salah fired, Jets lose on Monday Night Football, and then the Green Bay Jets sign Davante Adams as a desperate measure to save their season. A-Rod officially the most overrated QB of all time. You know, it's funny when people make these takes, they wait until they ain't shit. They wait until the end of their career when they can't really play the game anymore. Like, we didn't see him play up until the point he got old. Come on, y'all, stop.
Like he didn't win 4 MVPs, and we was all cool with all 4 of them.
I've been waving this flag for a long time as an A-Rod hater. Like, he ain't got but 1 Super Bowl. He lost too many times in the playoffs. with people that y'all claim are good coaches, LaFleur, McCarthy, fucking even Andy Reid. Like he should have more than one Super Bowl with the talent that he has. People that have been skeptical of A-Rod, they've been skeptical of him for a minute. It ain't just came to fruition now.
A lot
Yeah,
of
but
it's
that's an underachiever,
problem,
though.
my problem with him being overrated is you put him on the level of some of the winners. And we talk about A-Rod in the same breath that we talked about Tom Brady and some of those other guys.
Who are some of the other guys?
Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. We talk about A-Rod in those
That's
circles.
It? Those two?
And yeah, that's the era of that's the height. You can't talk about nobody but those two. But A-Rod is mentioned in the same breath as those two, and he's not that.
When was A-Rod mentioned in the same breath as
everybody
Mahomes?
always compared
to Mahomes?
To
Mahomes just came around.
No, they compared him to Brady, and then they started comparing him to Mahomes.
Well, they compared Mahomes to A-Rod. It was the other way around. They compared Mahomes to A-Rod because we hadn't seen nobody since A-Rod make those passes that Mahomes makes, right? So from a talent perspective, A-Rod has always been top tier. Now, overrated, I think, is the wrong word. I think underachiever is more in line with what A-Rod has been. Because, look, let's be honest. He has the best touchdown to interception ratio ever in the history of the NFL, right? Like, he doesn't turn the ball over, which is one of the key factors to winning games, right? He only has one Super Bowl. Based off of his talent level, the coaches, the players that he has had around, he should have one more, at least 2, maybe 3 Super Bowls. So he has underachieved, but overrated, hell no. Do you know how many quarterbacks in the league now looked at Aaron Rodgers to mold their game? So no, he's not overrated. He's definitely an underachiever. Arguably the greatest underachiever ever.
How many quarterbacks, if we using Tom Brady as the measuring stick, I mean, I think a lot of quarterbacks will fall short of that.
Right. That's why I said that level, you only talk about 2 guys. It's Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. That's where that conversation should end, to be honest.
To me, it depends on what you're grading on, because if you're talking about he's looking at in the GOAT conversation as like when you put a quarterback, if you were to build a quarterback, it would look like Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes as far as talent level, success, and all that other stuff. If you're just talking about as achievements and accomplishments, that's what Brady is. In my mind, that's why some of those are 2 different conversations. But the most overrated QB of all time is Drew Brees, and I think it's no question.
Yeah. Okay.
Because for Lou, as much smoke as you talking about Aaron Rodgers, at least he had winning seasons. There was a huge chunk of time people forgot Drew Brees
won a Super Bowl with the Saints, though.
Come on, y'all.
Change it. All right,
they go a long way. What y'all talking about?
Lou, if I had a goalpost, you'll be moving it right now.
I think Aaron Rodgers is more overrated than Drew Brees. I'll say that.
Oh, hell,
they damn near the same, bro.
Yeah, they are about the same.
I would give you that. If I had to really concede, I would say they're the same. But yeah,
they're not the same. They're not the same at all, because Aaron Rodgers has 4 MVPs. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it ain't even close.
White man look.
I like the way FIFA put it though.
That is white man look. He is talented. He got them MVPs because of white man look. Shit, Brett Favre got 3 MVPs and he played in Green Bay too. It's the Green Bay shit. They love to see a white man on a fucking tractor win the MVP. That's what it is with Brett Favre and with Aaron Rodgers and them being both out of Green Bay. Nothing more than that got them those MVPs.
One of his MVP seasons, I think he had 45 touchdowns and 4 picks.
What they do in that season? They lost in the playoffs.
It's a regular season. It's a regular season.
He always lose in the playoffs.
Okay, but
they won't do
regular season award.
And to my point with that, they won't do this with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes can go damn near undefeated this year and still won't win the MVP. Oh, look at his stats.
He losing it to Lamar.
Kelsey wasn't good.
He lost it to Lamar. Who you want, Lamar or Patty to get it? Who you arguing for?
I'm just saying, Patrick Mahomes could do the same thing that Aaron Rodgers is doing. He won't win MVP.
Last one before we move to the next topic. Woody Johnson bought the Jets in 2000. This is from Josh Rose, who's a Jets fan. Since then, they've had 8 different head coaches, had 9 winning seasons with an overall win percentage of 43.5%. He is and always will be the problem with this franchise, which is why so I'm not disagreeing with that, but I do respect him saying, look, I got maybe one more year. I lost a year when he got hurt last year. Yeah. This year I get a chance to see him on the field. This isn't what I hoped for. I'm making moves right now, because if it's not this year, I may got another year, but we know how this shit, 41, 42 or whatever he'll be. Hey, man, he may fall off a cliff. And we've seen that happen with Brady. We've seen it happen with Peyton Manning. So he has to push the chips all in because this was a move to win the Super Bowl.
This is what all in looks like for the Cowboys fans out there.
Hey, I saw
What the Jets are doing. This is what all in looks like.
This is what all in looks like. Because it ain't what the squad that you got on your hat. That's not what all in looks like. Well, you know what, Johnson, it might be all in because y'all got y'all shit pushed all in.
He's arguably been the worst owner other than Jerry Jones in the league. And y'all telling me this is what all in look like?
No,
he's going for it now. Yes, this is what all in looks like because he's tired of winning 43.5% of his games, Spike. So he's going for it.
Yeah, see, we don't have that problem.
And Lou,
y'all got other problems.
Yeah,
which we'll get into. What you gonna say, Nick?
That's our
thing. Someone mentioned in the chat, Lou talking about some white man. Look, they both white men. It's Drew Brees hair. They both white men. So which white man you say got more luck?
Well,
Aaron Rodgers got more white men look.
Jerry Jones ain't having that luck right now, and he fired off on some white men today. They got so quiet.
Hey, they was quiet at that kid.
He thought they was gonna lose their job.
Bro, he told him.
Hey,
that shit.
He said, "I'm serious."
He said, "I'm
serious." They laughed. He was like, "No, I ain't fucking around here, buddy. You got white people. Hey, I'm not fucking around here, buddy." That was basically what he said.
Try me if you want. I ain't playing.
Lou, that reminded me of the Breakfast Club interview with T.I. and Dro when dude was laughing. He was like, "Nigga, we ain't laughing
like I'll smack you."
Yeah, like, the fuck you talking about?
He called him some yahoos or whatever. I was like, bro, he is
on everything I love. I said, God,
Jerry was like, I shut all this shit down. Dude. Like, it won't be no show.
He said, if it ain't you, I go find somebody else. He said, somebody gonna ask me these goddamn questions. And listen,
it ain't gotta be you. You please don't get it mistaken. You ain't got to be the dude sitting right here.
They didn't know what to say, man. They were sitting in this stuff.
They're trying to laugh it off.
Ken, he was he almost called them when he called them black kids at that school. He was that photo. He got called.
All you little niggas up there having a good time partying and shit.
Oh man, and all of this happened. These three guys almost lost their job because the Dallas Cowboys suffered one of their worst losses of the season on Sunday at home against the Detroit Lions, 47-9, continuing their home losing streak that dates back to the playoff game against the Packers last season. Are the Lions now the unquestioned best team in the NFC?
The worst loss of Jerry Jones' tenure as the Dallas Cowboys
on his birthday. Man, stay out of y'all need to stay out of Jerry world. Ask Spike this question. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Spike. Go ahead.
People was going. People can go.
Well, look, I think the Lions are for real. What that game proved is that, look, man, they're throwing hook and ladders to tackles right now. Like these dudes came in there with such a disrespectful attitude and really put the league on notice. I've been talking about the Lions and Dan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, everybody else on this panel has been wrong as hell about them. And I'm glad when I'm right. And I'm gonna toot my own horn because that's the reason why I love doing Dead End Sports, because I'm more right than I am wrong. I'm not saying that I bat 1,000, but shit, I bat over 500. And here's the thing about these Cowboys, man. Here's the thing about these Cowboys. Y'all got the highest paid damn quarterback ever in the history of the NFL, but y'all couldn't even put up 10 points. Right. Mm-hmm. Jerry Jones, I've been talking about for the longest time. He is the issue, right? Like, I gave him a little bit of grace saying that he has drafted well, but he doesn't make the moves that are necessary when they're necessary to get over the hump. And also, there's too much ego in the room, bro. We saw that with Jimmy Johnson. From Jerry. We saw that with Jimmy Johnson. We saw it with Bill Parcells. We're talking about two of the greatest coaches to ever coach in the league, and you butted heads with those guys. Why? Just, if you're going to pick the players and move the fuck out the way. All of this with a show and this, that, and the third. Like, Jerry Jones is the issue. And I'm happy. The hater inside of me, and my hate doesn't typically resonate. It doesn't boil to the top. But you know what? For Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, and for you as well, Spike, delusional fan base that you're a part of, I am glad that this is happening. Because what do you do now? You just go fire everybody? Because the issue is you. Fire yourself or just be an owner. Pay the checks, write the checks, and let the football stuff to the football people because you're not a football guy. And this is proof. Every year is proof. Every year is supposed to be the year. Last year, he said, we going all in. This is all in? Yeah, you got your shit pushed all the way in. And it's nasty work out there, bro. It's nasty work. Let it go.
Hey, yo.
I mean, that's the problem.
Worse.
That's the problem, FIFO, when you have someone who is the owner, the GM, the spokesperson for the team. That's the only place I'll concede with you on that. Where you say Jerry's the problem because he wears too many hats. And him wearing the GM hat and still being on the radio going off on fucking yahoos at the end of the week. Like you can't do that. Like if you're gonna be the GM, keep your ass in there and make some moves. Or if you're gonna be the owner, go be the owner and then go do those radio interviews and you can say whatever the fuck you want to, and people will laugh it off as, oh, it's just the owner, a la David Tepper doing his thing, and we still have competent people in the offices that are doing their thing. You can't take away the drafting over the last couple of years, people. You cannot take it away. We have had some of the most talented football teams in the league. That just has not worked, and the window is closed because of the coaching that he's hired. Now, you can go all the way back and say, yeah, it is Jerry Jones' fault because he won't hire a coach that's able to stand up to him and develop talent. You got Mike McCarthy, fat ass over on the sideline, don't know half of what he's doing. Zimmer, old ass, don't even know if he on his couch or if he's at home. Like, he don't know what he's doing either. Like, they've ran the same defense since they got ran through on the Packers in the playoffs last year. Nothing's changed. They're undersized. They're getting beat up. They're getting ran off the ball. So when you say it's Jerry's fault because he won't surround himself with people that'll tell him no, I'll agree with you there. But he does have talent when you're talking about we've drafted some of the best talent in the league with Lamb, Parsons, Prescott.
And let me pause you there then.
The linemen that we've had, Lawrence. Go ahead.
Let me pause you there. So why are there glaring weaknesses from a talent perspective on the roster?
Coaching.
No, wait, hold on. That goes beyond coaching. Because you mentioned this. You mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. You said you got safeties playing linebacker. Right. That is a talent. That is a procurement of talent. You didn't pick the right people, or you didn't get. At the end of the day, what do you mean? Well, what they the scheme that
they were running, issue. They thought that Overshawn and they thought that Wilson would be big enough to be linebackers in that scheme. Now you bring Zimmer in, and you have injuries too, FIFO.
Spike, we know what linebackers look like. A minimum size linebacker need to be 230, 240, my boy. Running about 4'5", 4'6", 4'7" at the slowest.
Not now in the
league. What do you mean not now?
You said
before this year, I agree with that. I would want that for my team. But before this year, you have smaller linebackers because teams are throwing the ball more. And that's what's my man name in Washington right now, the head coach.
But you can't stop the run. You can't stop the run because all of your linebackers lie in the ass.
But Dan Quinn's scheme was quick enough to get to the run before it got downfield and it was running over linebackers.
So then tell me what's up with your boy Micah then, because Micah is a smaller linebacker.
He hurt. That's what's up with him. He's hurt.
But even when he's
moved all over the field before then,
can he? He's a one-trick pony.
Okay,
he's a one-trick pony.
They're using him the wrong way. And if you want to go back to your point about blaming Jerry and the coaching that they have, you look at a team like the Lions who thoroughly whooped our ass over the weekend. Their offensive coordinator is one of the best coaches in the National Football League. The schemes that he's running, to be able to actually put the time in to run a fucking hook and ladder play to linemen. Like, I not only am I going to practice the shit that I'm supposed to do all week, I'm going to practice the bullshit just in case we get up and start whooping y'all ass. That's how good they offensive coordinator.
Just in case they knew that they was gonna whoop your ass. You know why? Because
that's fair. But all I'm saying, real quick, FIFO, all I'm saying is this: you are right in the sense of Jerry is not surrounding himself with enough football people. He feel like he know enough football where he can make this thing work, and that's just not the case. Like, you just can't expect Dak to go out and outscore teams on a weekly basis, and then you're gonna win football games. That's not gonna happen. But he don't know that.
Lou, what point did you turn the TV?
Halftime. I was out of it. Halftime. I got halftime.
I was
surprised when FIFO called me by halftime. I'm surprised I made the halftime.
Let me shout out to BZ430. Ken, I think he be lying when he say he gave up on football because
He be watching football, man.
I know he watching.
He be watching football.
He asked his wife to turn the channel on real quick, and he just be watching for the man say that he ain't watching. Either way, the Lions are for real. The Lions are for real. I hate that. I hate that Aiden Hutchinson went down the way he did, but I'm sure they're gonna make a trade. I'm sure they're gonna make a trade to get Crosby or Hassan Reddick. Either way, the Lions are for real.
For life. Crosby said he Raiders for life.
Should a lot of motherfuckers say that until
he can say whatever he wants.
He could be gone. But yeah, I think the Lions are the best team in the NFC.
Well, and the only reason,
I'll only say I'll give some space for the Packers because I really like what the Packers are doing, especially now that the Jordan Love injury kind of I think slowed them down a little bit as far as the momentum they had, but I think it's still going now. But right now, the team, just from a confidence and 1-2 standpoint, I will pick the Lions. However, holistically, I still will go with the Packers. But right now, I got to say the Lions are the best team in the NFC.
That's crazy because you got to take in the same. We can stay in that same division. You got the Vikings that are undefeated, and they look like world beaters right now.
But we know that ain't gonna last too long. Like the coordinators and the players and the talent around them. Like now that this run game has been, banged up, Aaron Jones is hurt once again. They just traded for Cam Akers, which is a fart in the wind. So like you could tell, like there's some things that they're trying to figure out with their run game, which helps obviously Sam Darnold and in the passing game. However, I don't think that train is about to go off the track soon. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know though, Nick. With Hutchinson going down, they got the best defense in that division.
They do. And
I would say the
best receiver in the game. So
I would say the Packers. I think they have the best defense in the division schematically wise. But I think the Packers have
talent wise too.
I think the Packers defense is underrated. But like again, yeah, like Mr. G Nugget said, like losing Hutchinson for the whole year, like they said at best he comes back at Super Bowl, and I'm like, damn, you got to get there first.
He was on pace. He was on pace to have 25 sacks this year.
That was ridiculous. That's what I hated because he was fun to watch.
Beast, man.
He was fun to watch.
He had as many. He has as much sacks as the team has in general. He was like 7.5. Like
he was definitely putting his bid in for defensive player of the year.
And to get hurt and still make that sack, that was wild to me. Like his leg was already broke by the time he brought Dak down. So to still be able to get that last sack, I was like, man, that's you got to be a beast to do something like that. But
they have to make a trade for Crosby or somebody because this is the go all in season for the Lions.
They should try to get Garrett,
and they don't have.
Garrett, they should try to do that. I'd give up 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett.
I would give up two or three for Myles Garrett, absolutely.
Yeah, from the Lions, and they try to win now. Yeah,
they have to have that from the defensive line because their defensive backs is the weakest area on that team. And if if they're not getting pressure on the ball, they're gonna get ate up in that division. And
that's the reason why. That's the reason why I lean with the Packers because the Packers have a good secondary. Like they got people on the secondary that they can count on, and they still have a decent D line, and they got some linebackers. And I feel like they just put it all together. Like Jordan Love is cooking with that offense.
Yeah. The last thing I would say about my Cowboys, Ken, before you move on, is it's the window. I feel like is closed. Like I feel like they should hire. They should hire
a window.
Yeah. The window was the last 2 years, and nothing happen. But yeah, Mike McCarthy should be out. Mike McCarthy should be out during this bye week. Like he should be gone. And other than that, there's really nothing else you can do because Jerry don't sign free agent players during the offseason. I mean, during the midseason, he's not going to make a trade. So we're pretty much stuck with what you're looking at and getting blew out by good teams, beating bad teams, going 9-8, 8-9, or something like that, and hoping you make the playoffs. That's the future for the Cowboys with Dak as their highest paid player.
When is Micah Parsons supposed to be back?
Next year. I thought you were talking about his contract. He got 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, you got a bye week this week, so you won't lose this week. And then you got the 49ers.
They'll still lose.
We got a tough schedule coming up. We got the 49ers.
Yeah, it's ugly.
It's a really tough schedule coming up. Out of the next 6 games, the Giants is the only one that we likely to win.
Maybe
might
not.
lose that.
Maybe not. But
They almost took out Nick team.
I was about to say that's
Dexter
I
Lawrence is
can't
a
argue
monster.
that. Yeah.
it wasn't even Lawrence, it was Brian Burns. He played his contract that game. I was like, God damn.
He actually did. He actually did.
Yeah, it's just there's it must have been bittersweet for B, and a sense of poetic justice that the team that beat them last year in the regular season, we know the fourth down call, the going for two controversy that happened. So they came in with the purpose, but I just think it's funny that the team Spike been shitting on for the last year and a half or 2 years is the one that just basically sent him in a downward spiral.
Ken, I tell you what, I respect that. I respect him being like, y'all cheated us, and I'm gonna kick y'all. Hey, I respect Dan Campbell more after this than anything else. Like for going in there and be like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of y'all for this fluke win that y'all got against us the last time. So I do respect that.
And the fact that these are the home games that Dallas is getting drugged like this, that's the part that's killing me. You think they have more fight at the crib than they do, but it's been
They don't have the players to fight with. They don't got no fight. They don't got no players to fight with, bro. It's just like it's all we got, man. Come whoop our ass.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Don't know what happened to FIFO. That game against the Cowboys, Lions 1079 MD. That game against the Cowboys was a great example of beat your ass and hide the Bible of God watching.
I agree.
And Igwe says, Spike, let's be real, the Cowboys are trash. They haven't won since before I was born. They the most overrated franchise in all of sports. That includes the Major League, Little League, and ping pong in China. We done with the 90s.
Thank you, Igwe.
Here go the thing, though.
Hey,
y'all
man,
try to shit on Jerry. Y'all shit on
these...
Jerry. Jerry don't give a fuck about winning. It comes off to me now.
Hey, and I want to ask
about this, and this is what makes his team relevant. If he's mediocre or they're underachieving, when you turn on First Take every day, when you turn on Get Up every day, the first story is the Cowboys. And we talked about this Forbes list. And again, I'm not saying this as if it's okay. I'm not saying this as if it's a win or anything like that.
Make
Cowboys fan. However, him as an owner, he's looking at this like shit. My franchise is worth $10 billion, and we ain't won a Super Bowl in 30 years.
Make lemonade
what
out
other
of lemons.
franchise can say that?
Let's go, Lou.
I got a question. I love me some Jerry Jones, Stephen A. Smith, Mr. Mike. Did Jerry, as we move to the next topic, did he say that buying the Cowboys was a dumb decision?
He did. What he was trying to say at that point was, at the time, they were telling him it wasn't a good decision to buy the Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
He was saying that dumb decisions can turn out to be great decisions, and great decisions can turn out to be dumb, and you really don't know.
He was talking out of
no context. But there's no context for this. On this team, there's no context for what he was saying, Ken. So he was really just being senile.
Yeah, he was
talking out of his ass.
It
was a great decision to buy the Cowboys, and it was a bad decision when you did it. It's worth $10 billion now. Congratulations, but your team still sucks. So that point was
he was trying to say that, in hindsight, decisions, people can say anything. He was trying to say you don't ever know how a decision is going to turn out, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. It could go either way. That's what he was trying to say, trying to make up for how bad they've been.
They should have followed up by asking, well, then what happened with Jimmy Johnson? Which one was that?
That was a bad.
I agree with Rob Costa. Jerry Jones is the Joe Biden of football.
Well, what could have won it either way Sunday is a game that we didn't really expect. The Philadelphia Eagles won a close game at home against the struggling Cleveland Browns, 20-16. Does this victory mean the Eagles are back on track to take over the NFC East? How bad is the Cleveland Browns situation with Watson? Spike, a conversation you wanted to have last week.
I want Shelton with that same energy he had with the Cowboys discussion. Go ahead. Let's
I do.
Yeah. Like you told me, Shelton. Go ahead.
The energy has not changed. I can definitely answer it. No, this doesn't mean that they're back. Absolutely not. It can be a springboard if they take the positives that happened on the defensive side of the ball. You got more pressure than you have all year. You had 5 sacks, but
against we do have quarterback in the league.
It is, but it's still an NFL quarterback, and you got to take it and use it for what it is. I say the same thing. Like I'm gonna make lemonades out of lemons. You got to win. That's the thing, is putting them wins in the book. But no, it's not impressive whatsoever. It was not an impressive win. Still bonehead mistakes being made. It still looked like preseason. It just don't look good right now. It don't.
What do you think the problem is with the offense?
With the offense, the problem is who's calling the plays. I don't know if it's Kellen Moore, or I don't know
it's
if
the brand new offensive coordinator. It's not the quarterback.
No, it's not. No, I mean he takes part of the blame too, but still he ain't calling the plays.
Part of the majority.
Part, not the majority. You can't say it's the majority when he's leading. He's in the top 10 in passing right now. You can't say that.
I don't know what
he got a passing rating of 150.
I don't want to hear no Jalen Hurts stats, my nigga. Like, come on, I don't want to hear none of that.
So keep the stats out of it
every Sunday. I'm looking at him every Sunday, and whatever stats you read, they lie. Those numbers are lying.
They're there.
Shelton, look, this is where I have to disagree with you, right? Like, I understand the win is a win for the majority of football teams, but when you have Super Bowl aspirations, because in recent memory you've been there, this is not the type of win that is okay. So I do agree with you in a sense that this doesn't mean that they're back at all, by no means necessary. But when you're supposed to be a dominant team, you do what the Lions did to the Cowboys. That's on paper. That's the level of what this team is supposed to be. And
that's
having a 3-point, is it?
Yeah, because I just said that. I said no, it's not impressive. I said no, it don't look good.
Yeah, but I feel like you're still giving them a pacifier by saying that a win is a win, and that's the angle that I'm taking. This win is not necessarily the type of win that this type of team should hang their hat on or be okay with by adding it to the W column. This is not an okay win by no means, even though it is a W, because this team has championship expectations. And we have championship expectations and you have a guppy on the line, you're supposed to dominate them. Now, here's the thing. Can you fall off and have a bad game and still win? Of course. But we have not seen them be dominant in over 2 years. We haven't, right. And this is the game to be dominant, to say, oh, well, wait, hold on now. They might have figured something out. And they haven't had that type of victory yet. The Lions have had that victory that we got Nick talking about, that they're the best team in the NFC. We should have a game or two by already with the Eagles that we're saying, oh, okay, well, they're for real. They're legit. The Eagles, they have several issues. One of them, I have to start agreeing. I have a little bit, but, I'll go down deeper in the rabbit hole. Jalen Hurts is a major issue. It's not the play calling, because you try to shoot them that bell last year, Shelton, and they got a brand new play caller. They got brand new plays, and it still looked the same. You have two dominant wide receivers out there, and them boys look pedestrian as hell. Now, I'm not saying AJ Brown had a pretty decent, good comeback game. You know what I'm saying? But they're not dominant. They're not dominant. You have a running back that leads in all-purpose yards or total yards from scrimmage, but you're not dominant. So that's either quarterback, head coach, culture. It's a myriad of things. We don't know because we're on the outside looking in. But at the end of the day, all I can do is look at all of the names on paper and be like, why aren't you as dominant as you need to be? So to me, Sirianni got to go. I know they just paid Jalen Hurts, so I'm not sure how you get around that. But, bruh, like, it looks bad, Shelton. Even in a win, it looks bad.
Sirianni mad because he got to depend on Jalen Hurts.
He cussing out fans.
Hey, Lou, you're talking to awful lot this segment. You ain't have nothing to say last segment.
I'll say this. My season's over. I'm good. I can talk. I can hate on y'all now. I'm just saying Sirianni is that man when he's arguing with fans because he's looking at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts hasn't had a good game since the Super Bowl that they were in.
I mean,
that's hard. That's
somebody
arguable.
asked if I watched the game. Yeah, I watched the game.
It's not.
I absolutely watched the game.
Well, I'm go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say because the Eagles. I play fantasy football. I have Saquon Barkley, and I watch these Eagles games, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell is going on here. Because like people said, they got all that talent to put up 20 points. This is the same conversation we had when we was talking about with the Saints, but they only put up like 19 points. It's like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing?
They haven't scored in the first quarter at all this season.
Like, and that's
Like, that's
insane.
crazy.
And this is coming from a guy who watched the Bengals lose to the Patriots. So it's like when I hear certain things or whatever, and it just stands out to me. And then Shelton, you are doing some bail as far as saying Jalen Hurts is top 5 in Panera Bread awards or whatever stat that you pulled out. Like, no one gives a fuck. Like, we watch these games. Like, if they lost to Cleveland, we having a different conversation, which is why I want to bring it on to Cleveland, because Lou mentioned this, and I keep hearing numbers, and can they not adding up? The Cleveland Browns are in the worst situation. I think they're in a worse situation than Carolina Panthers. Yep. Because there's literally no way. There's literally no way out. Because if they cut Deshaun Watson, everybody knows that Deshaun is done. If they cut Deshaun Watson, the dead cap is like 170, I think, or something ridiculous. Like that.
That's for 2 years too. That ain't just 1 year.
So they have to keep him for at least, like, I thought it was just like, oh yeah, we just got to pay him out this season and maybe next season. It's the season after that.
Yep.
And on top of that, you still got Myles Garrett, you still got Denzel Ward, you still got Nick Chubb. Well, these niggas have to be gone now. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
you still got to pay Nick Chubb though.
Amari Cooper is already gone. He's in Buffalo now.
JOK, like, you're gonna have to pay JOK. You're gonna have to pay the other cornerback opposite Denzel. It's a clusterfuck, Nick. Now, the only way that you get out of there is no way.
There's no way. Because who's gonna take on that contract?
But the only way you can salvage it is through the draft by drafting another quarterback and drafting the replacements for the people that you can't pay because you paid.
But you can't put a $60-something million quarterback on the bench for another QB that might suck.
And Stefanski said that he gives us the best chance to win, so he already said no.
He knows.
There's no way they won't draft a quarterback for at least 2 to 3 years.
They won't draft a quarterback.
They can't because that'd be wasting resources.
They cannot. You have to build around. You're gonna have to build around him and then eventually replace him. That's the only way out of this. And pray that he gets back 50% of what he was before.
That's all right.
That's not gonna happen because that should have happened already by now. If he was going to be even 50% of what he was. Okay, so look, I feel like I'm going to need more apologies from all of y'all on the panel again. I don't disagree from a monetary perspective that it feels asinine to go draft a quarterback, especially in the first round, especially high in the draft, right? I feel y'all. But if you wait until the contract is up, that means that you would have wasted Jason Garrett, Myles Garrett, right? You would have wasted Denzel Ward. You would have wasted a formidable.
To be honest with you, the best bet is a fire sale for them. They need to be trading off all of those assets for draft picks.
That's it.
And when they are able to get a quarterback, now they can use those draft picks. I'm trading Myles Garrett. I'm trading Denzel Ward. They already traded Amari Cooper. If y'all want Chubb, y'all come get him. Like, because Deshaun Watson is so bad, I would do a fire sale. And then when I'm ready to draft my quarterback, I got the draft picks to put the team around him. That's the only way.
Because FIFA, if you draft a quarterback, let's say next year, right? And then you finally get out of his contract, you're gonna have to pay that other quarterback. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's an endless cycle. And that quarterback may not be good, but you can't not pay him because you just got done paying Deshaun. So you can't say we don't pay shitty quarterbacks. It's like like the worst case scenarios are even worse than that. Like, but Lou is right. You just got to sell everything.
But if you draft them this season, that means that you have 2 years of Deshaun's contract. Right. And we know that if you draft somebody in the first round, you get a 5th-year option. So that means that essentially in that last year, which will only be a 1-year deal left, you just cut Deshaun and cut your losses. You know what I'm saying? Look, at the end of the day, there's a million ways to skin a cat. We just know that this cat stink and is bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bad, bro. You don't even want to be in the same room with this joint. So I don't have the answers. They don't pay me millions of dollars to figure it out. But I tell you this, I know it ain't good. And I know that they got to do something about it. And here's the thing. It's going to cost at least a decent – I'm not going to call him a great coach or even a good coach, but it's going to cost a decent coach his job. Kevin Stefanski, at bare minimum, is a decent coach in this league. And it's going to cost him his job because I don't give a damn who it is. You're not going to win with Deshaun because he's unmotivated, bro. Watch his body language. Watch him on the sideline. Like, there is nothing that exudes that he's a leader, that he wants to be there, that he wants to do the best job possible. That man got paid and said, "F you, I'm good. I'm riding into the wind with all of these millions that are guaranteed, and I ain't got to play or work for it ever again." So at the end of the day, it's fucked.
I'd be
I
pissed
was-
about this too if I was an NFL player. Like, he got his money and now he just shit down his leg. Now no one else is ever going to have the opportunity to get that contract.
No,
the best
not at
hope
all.
that you can have is that somebody can light a fire under him and Nick Chubb comes back
Ooh.
to form. If Nick Chubb, I don't know. I'm saying the best hope. This is the hope.
You got to call him
Light a fire.
masseuse.
I was going to say, you better call those chicks in Houston, nigga.
Man,
Only ones gonna light a fire.
man.
I was gonna say, kid, this low key is a black success.
There's some
story.
bottle girls in Houston that know how to
At
get them
the-
riled
at the-
up. I'll tell you
at-
that much.
At the end of the day, this damn near a black success story because can't nobody ever say he ain't gonna be a legend for this. You know what I'm saying? He a legend in the street to give Shelton. He ain't gotta do shit.
Hey, he's the
Nothing.
and they
epitome.
gotta
He's the
deal.
epitome
and
of
they
fuck
gotta-
that job.
And he got
Fuck
It's
that
not even
job,
that,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
he's an epitome of leverage. He has the most
Man.
leverage in NFL history, bro. Because
Absolutely.
they can't do shit. He can come up there and cuss
It's
everybody
NFL
out.
history.
They got they paying lawyers round the clock to see how they can get out this damn contract. Like
They gonna send before long, they gonna send a masseuse his way.
They,
know,
see how he
they
able
probably
to, like,
already
they
have.
gonna-
Look,
he got to make sure he got to look at her shirt because you see that little brown helmet.
he
He
got
like, oh,
MDs,
no,
masseuse
no, no, no.
deflectors out there. They blocking them.
Hey, boy, they probably been sending all the bad
Yeah.
Cleveland chicks his way.
If I'm
Yes.
him, I call up the
I
nation.
got
Of
a
Real.
massage company.
All three of them.
I call the nation of Islam
I'm
for
a
security.
I'm a licensed massage therapist. I just started my business. He getting all them kind of DMs right now.
Man.
Amari Cooper was traded, so something is happening, and I think they just like, man, f this, bro. This ain't working. So they got him up out of there, and he posted on Instagram, "Move or rust." So it's not a good look for Watson, mainly because of what they managed to win. When they managed to win games with Joe Flacco, and the way I'm thinking about it's like the playbook and everything is different. Like, because Deshaun Watson can't replays or whatever, or coverages or whatever's going on with him, they can't even call the same plays. But there's other issues, like Watson is awful, but I think he was 11 for 11 in that second half. Not like it was doing much of anything. But then you get to the red zone, you're right on the 3-yard line, and you have penalties, which are, I feel like they're up this year. So that's a Stefanski thing.
Yeah.
And the play call to try to get Watson on his read zone or whatever it was to QB keeper to, like, what is that? So I don't know.
So Ken, this is the classic case of a coach having a system that works, but then has a quarterback that doesn't work for the system. We saw Flacco have success because this is a West Coast system. This is timing. This is choreography. And Deshaun is that type of quarterback. Deshaun is a playmaker type of quarterback. I'm going to hold it. I don't know how to read the field. I'm going to just throw to who I think is going to be open, you know what I'm saying, and create the play. And we're seeing that Stefanski is trying to acquiesce to what Deshaun's needs are, but it's not a marriage. It's not a good, and divorce is imminent. How nasty it gets, we don't know, but we know that the foundation of this whole thing is on literally breadcrumbs.
Well, Deshaun know how nasty it can get.
I'm about to say that kid. he got
get no
buck
nasty.
nasty. He got buck nasty. I know it's nothing but N-words in that whole building.
Oh,
kid.
man, you know it, bro.
Behind every closed door, they calling him all types of shit.
Yep. Let me read Lions super chat. I displayed it. I didn't get a chance to read it while y'all were talking, but shout out to the Dallas Cowgirls for getting Diddy-fied and baby oil on Sunday. The villain does get effed up with no Vaseline. All right. Ooh. And last one, then we're moving into our third review. Shelton, I hear your Shelton, I hear your faith. I will not let you down next game. Q's don't lose. Shelton J. Nice bike, by the way.
Oh, y'all in the same fraternity, Sheldon? You and Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts.
Yeah, that's why.
wonder.
Get loop.
A lot
No,
of shit
man.
makes sense now.
That
A
ain't why.
lot of shit makes sense now.
No, that ain't
Got
why.
it. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together before that. Okay, thank you.
All right. Last topic we have before we get into our picks. Let's take a look at the first part of the season. We're going to do this in thirds. So here we are, man. Who are the top 3 quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, teams, MVP candidates, and head coaches in the NFL at this point in the season?
Hey Jalen, if you listening, bro, hey, how are you going? You going from worst to best, best to worst, crazy? Like what we doing? Hold on, I need to know.
I think we just go. I don't know if he got the graphics for it.
Yeah, we didn't see these in, dude.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. No, we're just gonna
just read it.
Yeah, just read it. Yeah, we ain't gonna do it.
The one time FIFO decides to go above and beyond, nobody else did it. I sent it.
I did it. I sent it.
I was not told.
I just
to
needed
send
that
it.
chat.
No, it wasn't asked to send them in. It was just like to have them on deck to read.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't gonna be no graphics from
the FIFA. Since you most prepared, you got your notes and all that shit in your bulletin board. Go ahead. You can start off with the top 3 quarterbacks.
All right. Well, shit. The top 3 quarterbacks. Number 3, I got Patty Mahomes at number 3. At number 2, I got Jaden Daniels. And at number 1, I got Lamar Jackson.
That's a good list. I'll go next. My top 3 QBs at this point in the season, I got number 3, I got Patrick Mahomes as well. At number 2, surprisingly, I got Sam Darnold. And number 1, I got Lamar Jackson.
All right, cut his mic off.
I'll go next, man, so we can get that nasty taste out of our mouth. Number 3, I have Jaden Daniels as well. I think that's a good pick. He's been doing his thing. Number 2, I have Lamar Jackson. And number 1, of course, the GOAT, Patrick Mahomes.
You picking Patty based off what? This season?
Based off him being the best quarterback that I've seen play this season, yes.
Hey, let's get back to this.
That was the question.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say because see, people laugh at the Sam Darnold pick, right? Sam Darnold has.
We ain't even talking about that.
Sam Darnold has 11.
Don't try to bring Sam Darnold into a conversation with Patrick Mahomes.
He's the reason the team is
Don't do it.
Yet you got Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, nigga, because I've watched football this season.
Let me correct you.
The team is undefeated. Like no one is doing still, even though he got 6 touchdowns and 6. Even though they got 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, he's still doing the things that he needs to do to win football games. No one can do what Patrick Mahomes does on a football.
Wait, hold on.
Y'all seen that through all the games.
You tripping?
There should be no dispute about.
All right,
this.
let's not spend much time.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let me let off my clips. Hold on, real quick, Shelton. It's not because of Sam Darnold, it's because of Kevin O'Connell. I said that at the beginning of the season, and now they're having success. It's not Sam Darnold is a byproduct of what Kevin O'Connell has going on over there.
But he's having a better.
I understand that. No disagree.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on, real quick. Spike, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I agree that Pat Mahomes is the greatest to ever do it, but he's not the best quarterback this season.
Absolutely. That's what we got to do. That's what we're dealing with.
If you've been watching the games, you've seen how he has his team being undefeated. Extending plays, making the right
mics.
Yeah, go
ahead. Controlling the mics. I forgot about that.
I'm done.
I'll go next. I have Lamar, Jaden Daniels, and Stroud.
What's the order?
Stroud was number 4 for me.
Oh, we supposed to put them in order?
Hell yeah, kid, it's top 3. What you talking about?
In that order, then.
So say it again.
1, 2, and 3, or 3, 2, and 1.
1, 2, and 3. Lamar Jackson number 1, Jaden Daniels second, and CJ Stroud.
Okay. So, that's solid.
So for
that's
me,
solid.
For me, I have Jaden Daniels at 3, CJ Stroud at 2, and Lamar Jackson at 1.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes hasn't been playing well enough for me to say he's a top 3 QB, but he's on the best team in the league.
And also the rest is in his corner.
Yeah, I had that defense has been doing a remarkable job keeping them in games too. I had Jaden Daniels at 3, but once again, like I said, when we talk about quarterbacks, I'm looking at the amount of touchdown passes that have been thrown, all that stuff, and the record. You can't look at nothing else. How could you not? I'm not looking at the name.
What's your 3?
My 3 was Patrick Mahomes, Sam Darnold, and Lamar Jackson.
Can we just move on? I didn't want to hear. I didn't know why you asking me.
5-0, 5-0, 4-2. Okay. There you go. That's the only reason I put. That's the only reason I put.
We see.
Hey, you look at Sam Darnold and you look at Jaden Daniels. You like, man, those guys.
See, once again.
Well, Shelton, by your logic, Baker Mayfield should have been on the list. What's next?
Exactly.
No,
running backs. Let's go with running backs.
Too. He's up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start running back.
I'll go Spike. Running backs. I got Derrick Henry because he's been Derrick Henry, Saquon
number
Barkley.
3 and number 1.
Damn, my bad. My order it's 1 through 3.
1, 2, 3.
Derrick Henry number 1, Saquon Barkley 2, and J.K. Dobbins is 3rd.
J.K.
Whatever his name.
You kidding, my nigga?
Hey man, that's how Harbaugh winning games, bro.
Harbaugh winning games because Harbaugh win games.
I go next. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say for me it's 3, 2, 1. Obviously 3 is recency bias. David Montgomery at 3, Saquon Barkley at 2, and Derrick Henry at 1.
Okay. Go ahead, Shelton.
At 3, I got Jordan Mason. 2, I got Saquon Barkley, and 1, I got Derrick Henry.
He going with stats. Go ahead, FIFA.
Easily going with stats.
At number 3, I got Albert.
What else do you go by?
Jordan Mason ain't no top 3 running back in the league right now.
He's second in the league with 600 yards. The next running back is third.
Who cares, bro?
Bro,
he bumped at 400.
Anybody behind Kyle Shanahan's system is going to fall.
If you have rushed for 609 yards, that's only second to Derrick Henry at 704. The next closest person is at 485.
And this is why
out
of all the football you've watched so far, he's the 3rd best back.
He's the 3rd best back this year.
That's impossible.
He's
Production,
been producing.
That's
production and good or great or best is 2 different conversations. He's been producing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he is best.
Oh, so production means nothing? I don't get it.
I didn't say that. I'm the numbers guy. I'm the numbers guy.
So you guys are basing it off who should be doing the best?
Or no, I'm telling you, if you look at these games and you see him as a San Francisco running back, you know he's not a top 3 running back in the league.
I look at it like when he's not on the field for San Francisco. Of course, you got Christian McCaffrey there, but when Christian McCaffrey's not there, if he's not on the field, they're not going to
byproduct of the system, just like his daddy's system was. You put TD back there, you put whatever running back that has 2 eyes, 2 legs, and 2 arms, and they gonna produce. It's a
who'd you have it? Who was 3rd for you?
Jordan Mason.
Who was 2nd?
Saquon Barkley.
Okay. Who didn't go?
So for me, I haven't gone. So at number 3, I got Alvin Kamara. At number 2, I got Derrick Henry. At number 1, I got Saquon.
I like the Kamara pick. I almost had him.
That's that. FIFA. We had the same people, different order. I had 3. I had 3 Alvin Kamara, 2 Saquon, number 1 here Henry.
Okay, so the only reason why I picked Saquon over Derrick, obviously Derrick leads the league in rushing, but Saquon leads the league in all-purpose yards. So to me, he's this year's Christian McCaffrey. But if you have Derrick Henry at number 1, like I'm not arguing that. Like it was difficult. You know what I'm saying? That was just my reasoning for putting him 1 over Derrick.
And FIFA, the only argument we have is Jordan Mason.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
It can be crazy, but he's the second leading rusher. He's the second leading rusher in the league. I don't know how crazy you can get with that. If you 200 yards ahead of your next person, you saying he's not better than them?
As Marty McFly said, they had a 75-yard run from a no-name that helped win that game, bro.
Absolutely. It don't matter though. Once again, he's that much better than everybody else as far as
no, he's not.
You go from 600 to 400. You got you do the math for me then. Y'all picking names. Come on. Y'all picking names. Y'all not watching games.
Sheldon, that's an amazing team that he plays. He plays on an amazing
game.
That don't matter.
Yeah, I've watched
It
the
does
San
matter.
Francisco games, bro. He's not
No.
there, bro.
Because
It's not.
if
He
was that,
actually cost him a game.
yeah, I was gonna say if he was that
he
good,
did cost him a game though. He
if
did
he was
cost him the
that,
one game.
if he was that good, that red zone percentage wouldn't be as low as it's been since C-Mac got hurt.
Yeah, he did cost him that one game.
But anyway, on to the receivers.
This
Nick.
is gonna be interesting.
Okay, for me at number 3, I have Justin Jefferson. At number 2, I have Nico Collins. And you already know what, I don't chase women, I chase the cash. You know what I'm saying? I got Jamar Chase, you know what I'm saying? That's at number 1.
So I'll go next because we have literally the same 3, but in different order. I have Jamar at number 3. I got Nico at number 2. I got Justin at number 1.
I'll go. I actually have Justin Jefferson at 1. Nico, this is tough because now he's hurt. So, but before he got hurt, he was balling. I'm going to reward him for that, and put him at 2 because Chase is just now starting to catch fire, and that's why he's 3rd. But that's my order.
I got Nico Collins at 3, Chris Godwin at 2, and I got Chase at 1.
I have Nico Collins at 3, Justin Jefferson at 2, and the only explainable reason that I could say that the Bucs are good as they are is Chris Godwin. I got him at 1. I do not believe in Baker Mayfield. Chris Godwin is that good.
He did have a monster game, but he was playing the Saints, who was starting. What's his name?
He's been doing it all season.
Talking about,
He's been doing it all season.
Yeah, he has.
No. I'm saying
He's been doing it all season.
I'm
He's
just
doing
saying
it
last
with
game.
a world-class
game.
receiver on the other side. He's still making plays.
Yeah,
That's why I put him up there.
no disrespect.
Like he got a Hall of Famer on the other side, and he's been doing like he's the number 1 receiver.
Yeah, because they're probably trying to shut down Mike Evans.
I can't knock him for that, Ken. He's been doing his job.
But I gotta give it to Chase though. Chase be making plays, bro. Chase makes something out of nowhere.
But here's the thing: we'll move to the next one. Like, no love for DK or CD.
No, and
they're right there.
See these nuts.
They are right there.
But what about DK Metcalf then?
I get why you said CD
DK,
and DK. They're both about
DK
the
number
same.
5 for me. DK number 5.
They both about the same thing. No, they boom or bust.
No, DK can't run routes. I just feel like he
has still been kicking ass though.
He has.
Because he's a fucking demigod on the day. Like he a grown man among a grown man.
Hey, Chad, I was just asking because it seemed like they were clearly just looking at some stats, so I just had to ask. So and they were right there below him. But let's move on to the next one. We have teams. Is that what we're doing next? Teams.
Yep. Teams.
Ooh.
I'll go first. At number 3, I got the Ravens. At number 2, I got the Chiefs. At number 1, I got the Lions.
This was hard for me, but I got the Lions at 3, I got the Vikings at 2, and I got the Chiefs at 1.
I have the Texans at 3. I have the Lions at 2 and the Chiefs at 1.
What?
Yeah, we got to have
I get that.
We got a conversation about the Texans. I have the Lions at 3, Ravens at 2, Chiefs at 1.
Did everybody go?
No, I got number 1. Give me the Chiefs. Number 2, give me the Ravens. Shout out to Lamar. Good run he's on. And I'm going with the Texans 3rd.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought them up. We didn't have a conversation about the Texans. Do y'all believe they are as good?
Wait, didn't you have CJ Stroud in your quarterback list?
Yes. I don't have no questions about CJ Stroud. I'm just talking about the Texans. I'm talking about the team, the Texans. Okay. Do y'all believe they are which teams do you think they're better than, the Ravens or the Chiefs?
The Ravens.
They're not better than either to me.
I think they can beat either team.
They could beat either team at this point.
But they're not better. Yeah,
that's what anybody can beat anybody on the Sunday. We just seen the Raiders beat the Ravens. You know what I'm saying?
Better than the Ravens.
That's why
I'm asking. Who do you think is better? Like, who is the better team to y'all? because
They're better
for their record, they should be number 2 in the East. I mean, in the AFC. So so if we're saying the Chiefs are number 1, I'm assuming everybody's saying the Chiefs number 1.
Nah.
I am, yes.
So you don't have
They're
the
not
Chiefs
number one.
as the best
Nah,
team.
they're not. Nah, they're not the best team. The Lions are the best team, in my opinion.
I'm talking about the AFC. I'm talking about the AFC.
Oh,
Just
AFC. Yes. I have Chiefs number 1 in the AFC because I have them over the Ravens.
And then you have the
Ravens after them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, the reason why I'm asking that is because I think this week is a big game for them. I think they face the Packers this week.
It is.
So this is to me is like their first legit test as far as competition. I don't think the Bills they faced the Bills too, right?
They did face the Bills. That was the
I think
test.
that was their first test, and that was a closer game than what people may realize. So that's why I'm curious to see how they do against the Packers, because they have proven that they can beat up on the cupcake teams, which that's what good teams do. I'm just trying to see how good they are, because I do feel like there's something a little off with them when it comes to them when they face good teams. So I wanted to see that. But obviously, based off their record, they're off to a great start. I wouldn't say that they're better than the Ravens or the Chiefs. In my opinion.
Yeah, and losing Nico Collins, that's not going to help them in this upcoming matchup.
But they got Diggs though, so I know that's what I'm saying. I think it's not going to be that bad. If I look at Stroud as a top 3 QB and he still has Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell, and now Joe Mixon's back healthy, so the offense is clicking a little bit more, and you have Dalton Schultz, like they should be fine. Yeah, you should be fine.
They should be. It's still yet to be seen though. You still can't just plug and play. It still has to make sense, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think to answer your question, Nick, I think the Texans have more talented playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. Like, I trust Lamar Jackson from the Ravens, yes, but granted, later in the season when Nico Collins is healthy, and I do have Diggs, and I do have your mans that play for y'all, the Cincinnati Bengals, at running back, like that's a lot more mixing. Yeah, that's a lot more than what other teams have to offer in the AFC, so I would put them right behind the Chiefs.
So you think they're not? You think that if they face the Ravens in a playoff game, they would be they
almost beat them last year. They almost beat them last year, and that was their first year in that position. So yes, I like their chances a lot better this year, having a good team, knowing what it's like to perform all year as a good elite team, and then going into the playoffs and saying, "Oh, we're playing the Ravens. We're not intimidated. We're not scared. We can beat them." I do feel like they can go in and do this.
So this is why I slightly disagree with you, Spike. I agree with everything that you're saying in terms of the Texans' confidence, 100%. They have a franchise QB. They upgraded the talent all around them. But you're talking about a team that has 2 players in the top 10 of rushing, one being arguably the most dynamic quarterback that we've seen since Michael Vick, and then the other one is a fucking workhorse that has been a man-child since he was a child. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude, that he's not slowing down. The Ravens are still figuring. Think about this. He leads the league in rushing, and he's still being underutilized in the system. That is crazy work. So to me, if I see that matchup in the playoffs, if CJ Stroud's not on the field, like ain't nothing he could do. So they're going to have time of possession. And for that reason, I think that, in my opinion, again, I just think they're a better team where you can run the ball. And it's going to eventually help that defense that's struggling right now.
I think the coach is going to have a lot to do with that. I think DeMeco Ryans is going to, his scheme and what he's able to do is going to weigh heavily into that. You're right. You're absolutely right in what you're saying about Henry and Jackson, but I do think that I think Ryans is that good of a coach where he's going to make adjustments so he can stop that. But not stop it, but slow it down. Slow it down.
All right. Top 3 NFL MVPs.
Oh,
we're doing the head coaches. My bad. I was going by head coaches.
I'll start off. Number 3, I got Dan Quinn. Number 2, I got Kevin O'Connell. And number 1, I got Andy Reid.
Wow. I'll go next. And number 3, I got Andy Reid. And number 2, I got Kevin O'Connell. And number 1, I got Dan Campbell.
I'm going to keep it real. At number 3, I got Mike Tomlin. Always to be respected on this broadcast.
Yeah.
Number 3, as far as what he's done with the Steelers. Number 2, I got to go ahead and concede, man. Dan Campbell, he's done what he's needed to do. I know I've been shitting on him with the rah-rah shit, but I got to give it to him. I hate it. I hate it.
Didn't Baker Mayfield beat him?
But they're the best team in the NFC. And number 1, I got Matt LaFleur, man. LaFleur has been coaching his ass off this year to win those games with Malik Willis and
Well,
quarterback.
yeah, that's
LaFleur has
Yeah,
been
that's a
his
good one.
yeah,
That's a
game
good one.
this
that's a
Yeah.
good
I
one.
got for my 3, I got Kevin O'Connell at 3, Mike Tomlin at 2, because once again, to have Pittsburgh in first place is crazy.
with a
And
terrible quarterback to have.
at 1, I have Andy Reid, because that team has not played well to be 5-0.
My list, I have at number 1, Andy Reid. Number 2, I have Kevin O'Connell. And coming in third, I have D'Amico Ryans.
Oh, man. That's a good one.
I made my list based off of who am I most impressed by this season
It's
so
like
far.
cap coming.
And this ain't no cap. This is
It
legit.
sound like a lot of cap coming
This
before
sound
you
legit.
feel it.
And you
I
keeping
didn't-
it being Nick. You
Everybody else just read their list.
I didn't-
Everybody else just read their list. He had to tell us why.
Here
he
go
picked the
mine,
people that
man.
he-
No, because everybody, I can see based on everybody's list, they had different ways of how they were evaluating what they consider a top 3 coach. Dan Quinn being 4-2, and it could have been 5-1, but that game went how that game went. Dan Campbell being 4-2 and leading the league and leading the NFC East is something that I don't think anybody predicted. I had them going as a wild card, so I didn't think they were even going to be in a position to win their division. So that says a lot. And he's got Jaden Daniels looking like the rookie of the year, damn near MVP candidate. Kevin O'Connell was 5-0 when no one thought they thought once they lost JJ McCarthy, the season was already going to be. People thought they weren't even going to make the playoffs, but when JJ went down, there's oh hell no, we started Sam Darnold, it's a wrap. Now they're leading the league damn near in wins. And then you got Andy Reid as Andy Reid. This roster has been banged up. Patty's not playing well, and they're still 5-0 and undefeated. So to me, it's like that's why I was going on. I'm more impressed with those coaches than the ones y'all mentioned.
So here's the thing. Like I don't disagree with Tomlin. I don't disagree with Dan Quinn. They're just a little bit further down my list. Andy Reid at 3 because uncharacteristically they have penalties and it just don't feel like an Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes led team because they're typically so efficient and they don't have the penalties and turnovers that they typically have. So, but he's still top 3. Tomlin, D'Amico, like a lot of these guys, if the list was longer, obviously they would be on there. But what I am definitely glad and surprised is that nobody outside of me had Kevin O'Connell on the top 10 list at the beginning of the year. All of y'all have him on your list now.
Before you gonna make me start calling out everything you do wrong because
Now
he's
he's-
thinking your
Let's
praise.
go.
You
Let's
have been
go,
right a couple
Shelton.
times
Not
now.
on my list.
Nah, it's been more than a couple.
He do
More than a couple.
He do that all the time, Sheldon.
Yeah.
He be saying
I
he's
said this
singing
2
his
years
praise.
ago, though. I told y'all how good Kevin O'Connell was 2 years ago. When I picked the Vikings, y'all told me I was crazy, and then they won the division and then lost.
Yeah,
in the first
that
round.
was
All right, last one. MVP.
How we did that?
No, we didn't do it.
Nah, we did
No,
coaches.
sir.
Okay.
I'll go first. My 3 is Stroud is 3, Patrick Mahomes is 2, and Lamar Jackson is number 1. He has really, really, really looked impressive this year.
My 3 are I got Patrick Mahomes at 3. I got Jordan Love at 2 since he's came back. I got Jaden Daniels at number 1, man.
You can't
I ain't
have Jordan
expecting-
Love at 2 though. Jordan
Yeah,
Love,
yeah.
like you said, he
He just
lost
got
the
back.
first game, and 2 he was out for how many
Check-
games?
Two
Sheldon,
or 3.
Hey Sheldon,
Mm.
the guy that you put in running back, what's his Mason?
Yeah,
Go check the stat. Go check the stats on Jordan Love.
it's there.
Just go see what. I'm just asking you. Just go check the stats.
It's there.
Just like with Mason, you were telling me go check the stats on Jordan Love since
I
see
did.
what he's done since he's been playing.
He missed 2 games though, Lou. He doesn't have the stats there.
Check the stats.
He doesn't have.
I'll go
what's-
next.
Tell me what stat to check.
So
Quarterback
MVPs,
Percentage.
MVPs, MVPs. Patrick Mahomes at 3, Jaden Daniels at 2, Lamar Jackson at 1.
I'll go next. Oh, go. You got where you gonna go, Ken?
No, go ahead. You go.
I have Derrick Henry at 3. I have Lamar Jackson at 2. I got TJ Watt at number 1.
Oh man,
Interesting.
I think
That's a curveball.
the Steelers are 4-2 because of TJ Watt. That
That's
motherfucker he caused 2 fumbles in that Raiders game. He legit them like I hate how we always go to quarterbacks like these. There's other people that make impacts in the league. TJ Watt, one of them.
I
That's
see you
some
reading them stats
next-
over there too, Sheldon.
Yeah, he's
Next
20th in the
level.
league.
Hating,
In what?
bro.
He's second in the league in touchdown passes and missed 2 games.
Second league in touchdown passes.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's tied for second. That's pretty good.
And
No. I'm not finished because I was saying he's tied for the league. I'm not finished. Now I like Jordan Love. Don't get me wrong, but he's second in the league in interceptions as well. He's tied for first in the league, as a matter of fact. So he's tied with Patrick Mahomes. He has 6 interceptions.
Okay.
The fact that y'all got Mahomes in the MVP conversation is redonk.
Well, here go mine. Jaden Daniels, 3rd, Lamar Jackson, 2nd, and I got Mahomes number 1, Nick.
Wow.
Thank you.
Damn
Wow.
sure right.
So Nick, look, at least
it's
for
not
me,
off stats, clearly.
Yeah.
Nah.
If you exchange Mahomes with any other quarterback, they don't win some of the games that they've won, even with how nasty it has looked, how inefficient it has been. Mahomes is still the catalyst as to why they pull out these games. And now the defense gives a lot of credit. They are one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the league. He just lost Rice, the wide receiver, you know what I'm saying? And he still figures it out. Kelsey hasn't been the Kelsey that we've known, but he still does enough to win.
If that's the case, then you should have Sam Darnold in your top 3. Because based off the stats and the games they actually have won, you would make a better case for him right now than Patrick Mahomes.
There's a difference, and FIFO stated it earlier. Kevin O'Connell is the reason why they're 5-0.
Yes.
It's not Sam Darnold.
Yes,
right?
He's a byproduct.
A combination of Andy Reid and Mahomes are why they are, 5-0 as well. But this man has lost everybody. And when I'm watching those games, I'm like, there's no way they're going to win this game. And somehow, some way, he finds a way to win the game. And I can make a case that the high interception rate is because he's throwing to guys that, he's thinking they're going to be somewhere else. Maybe they don't run the right route. I can make excuses for him, but I'm not going to do that. The stats are the stats. But I think he's managing to overcome just the lack of what he started the season with. And they're managing to find ways to win this game, man. It's incredible with nobody.
I think we just buying into the fact that we would rather choose Mahomes than the field, and that's fine. But to me, it's like if we're going off of the third, we're just going off a third of the season. We're not going off of what we predict at the end. We're not going off none of that shit. We're just going off so far this season. To me, Patrick Mahomes has not played as like a top 3 QB.
His team is undefeated.
MVP candidate. His team is so is the Vikings, so is Sam Darnold, but none of y'all niggas got him on the list. And he's thrown for more TDs and he got less interceptions.
Sam Darnold ain't shit, and you said that.
I've watched the football games, and I've seen what Sam Darnold has done, and it's because of McConnell that they're 6-0. When I watch Kansas City games, the reason that they're where they are is because of what Patrick Mahomes is able to do.
And in all honesty,
it's because of that defense. If we keep it a bean, that defense is playing out of the world. Even Patrick Mahomes goes on the podium and says that like this defense has been keeping us in these games of not winning these games more than me doing.
Yeah, but Pat Mahomes still got to come out in the end and make the plays to score the points because defense isn't scoring the points, right? Like Mahomes still got to score the points, and even though again it looks as ugly as it does, he still gets his team in position. And Ken, not only did he lose a wide receiver, he lost Isaiah Pacheco. You know what I'm saying? Who's the wide receiver that they just got from the Cardinals? He didn't play the first couple of games. So Hollywood, they had to go get Juju back. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like what Mahomes is doing doesn't look sexy at all, but it's getting the dubs as you like to give credit to, Nick. He's getting the dubs.
And I'm not sleeping on Mahomes. This isn't a Mahomes issue. This is more so of he's not playing at the Mahomes level of the standard, so I'm not going to reward him just because his name is Mahomes.
Wait, what does that mean? If he's 5-0,
the team is 5-0. You know what I'm saying? The team is playing. The team. No, I'm not saying anything bad about Mahomes, but how he's been looking in these. I've watched these games too. How he's looked in these games and the stats. Nick, and I'm incorporating that.
2 years, Nick. You've been doing this for 2 years. straight.
Oh,
You've been trying to shit on the Chiefs for 2 years straight.
I
They
haven't
won the
shit on
Super
the
Bowl
Chiefs.
last year. All year. You shit on them all year last year.
I shit
And
on
you
the
were trying to
receiver.
say, oh, Patrick
Lou,
Mahomes don't
do
look
that.
right.
Don't do
They're
that. Don't do
dropping
that.
passes. They're not going to make it here. And every year he shows you, I'm that dude. And now you still trying to double down on it.
No, don't do that because y'all act like we didn't. I called it out first before the news outlets did it. I was like, these receivers that the Chiefs got are cheeks. And we saw
they
week
won
to
the
week.
Super Bowl.
Look. We saw week to week that was an issue up until the playoffs. And then Mahomes turned it up to another level. And throughout that whole season, I said, I don't doubt Mahomes. I'm coming at the front office for not putting enough talent around him because I was the one saying they're wasting his prime years, giving him this bullshit to work with. But he exceeded even my expectations of taking that team not only deep in the playoffs, but to a Super Bowl victory. So I'm not questioning Mahomes. However, I'm also not going to praise him because I'm mild-mannered Nick. I'm keeping it a bean and y'all not. I'm not going to praise him as a top 3 MVP. This is the most valuable player. Right now, he's not playing like that.
He is playing like that.
Exactly. You take him out. That team is barely 500.
0-6.
You can say the same thing about the Ravens. You take Lamar out of the Ravens. That team
No.
what
I was gonna say is that I can also make a case that Derrick Henry is the reason why they managed to come back and make this resurgence to win four games straight. He's leading the league in rushing and has some big runs.
Yep, that's true. That's true. But I've also seen Lamar with Derrick Henry, without Derrick Henry, win multiple games, get a number 1 seed. Like
this year,
I've seen Lamar. He did last year. I'm saying he's
right. But we're talking about this year, though.
This year, yes,
First
that's
quarter,
why I have Derrick Henry in the MVP candidate over. I have Derrick Henry being a more valuable player right now than Lamar. And
I almost I actually almost put Derrick Henry in the conversation. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's what we got. And let's move on to our weekly picks.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's on you, bro.
Oh shit. I was waiting for the graphic. My bad. So yeah, we got our weekly picks. Let me go through the stats. So for this week, all right, these games.
Hey, what Jalen? I want to see the numbers. I want to see. Since the Saints started losing, we ain't even heard from Jalen, man. Like I want to see the numbers. Shit. He was all talkative and shit when the Saints was winning. Now I don't even hear from this nigga no more.
Ever since I saw Joker 2, I wanted to keep on saying this. Oh, when the Saints. So for this week, for week 6, we have 3 4-0 members of the crew who picked perfect games for the weekly picks. That goes to Shelton, FIFO, and Spike Lou. They went 4-0 for the weekly picks. Ken went 2-2. I was 1-3. The only one that I feel really bad for was the Seattle one, and it was a close game up until that goofy ass pick that Geno threw, and it was a lot of. Somebody brought up penalties. They called back a lot of touchdowns for the Seattle Seahawks during that game too, which is goofy penalties as well. Yeah. But all the rest of those games was one possession games. Even last night with the Jets, they should have won that game if it wasn't for their fucking kicker. That's why I hate kickers. So y'all can see this the overall stats of everything. Shelton and FIFA are number 1. Lou's right behind them, then it's Ken, and I'm making a comeback.
That's Shelton with the glasses over there?
Yeah,
that's 2 Ken picks.
Damn.
Yeah, man. You said Shelton is a variant of Ken?
No, Ken cross-eyed.
Oh, hell no.
That look like a Ken variant right there.
Ken look like the 4 and the 0.
It's like, ain't it crazy going undefeated one week and then being last the next week?
Yeah, it is. It's insane.
What does that say about the analyst himself? He don't know shit he talking about.
Shit. Because if we giving ourselves stars for the day like you've been doing all day, people, I'm the best one that evaluates quarterbacks.
Are you?
I'm the best quarterback evaluator here. Let's keep it.
Oh man, I didn't go
We
say
ain't even
that.
going to the quarterbacks you hyped up.
Oh man.
But let's go with these week 7 picks. Also, I would say that the Dead End Sports viewers, they went undefeated as well too last week with their
About
picks.
time.
So they're at 9, 8. They're at 8, 9, and 1. So they're right underneath 500.
Sound like Cowboys.
Hey Nick, what happened to being your brother's keeper?
What you mean?
What you mean? Those are your words last week.
Hey, bro, we all flawed human beings, right?
Oh, okay, preacher man.
So up next we got week 7 picks.
Which one
The
you
first
starting
one,
with?
let's start off with KC San Francisco. Kansas City Chiefs are going to San Francisco. Lou was trying to call me out to my son. I don't believe in the Chiefs. I'm trying to slight the Chiefs, but I picked them. You know what I'm saying? So Ken, why are you picking them?
That's because you hate Kyle Shanahan, though.
I don't hate nobody. I don't hate
You
nobody.
hate Kyle Shanahan. You hate Kyle Shanahan.
I give an
I
honest
forgot
pick.
about that, Lou.
He hates Kyle Shanahan.
There's nothing for me to hate for. He just keep losing, and he get praised for losing that like nobody else.
Exactly. See,
Just saying. The same energy that you got for Aaron Rodgers is the same I got for Kyle Shanahan. But go ahead, Ken. Why you picking San Fran?
Gut feeling. I think that the Niners have lost some really close. They lost 2 games they should not have lost thanks to Kyle Shanahan's and they lost the kicker. They have been killing college and NFL teams all year long.
Get rid of him.
Man, it's been awful. But nevertheless, maybe they got some things right. Even that game that we watched Thursday, like that was 49ers built the lead, and once again, they couldn't hold it. They gave up a 97-yard kick return right after they went up, which is insane. But that's how they've been doing this year. So, but I think they're home, and they're healthier than the Chiefs. So, and I think they want some get back as well for losing that Super Bowl. I expect them to be motivated. They have a top 3 running back in the league on the team in Jordan Mason. So
Absolutely.
I was gonna say I think this is a true stat. I think since the Mahomes era, or definitely since the Purdy era, the Chiefs haven't lost to the 49ers in the regular season or the playoffs.
That's crazy.
And they're coming off a bye week, so it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, Andy Mahomes is a beast off bye weeks. That's one of the main reasons I picked.
Forget Mahomes, Andy Reid. Have you ever seen his?
Andy Reid.
Oh, I'm about to say, his record off of a bye week is ridiculous. So
the Eagles did beat them last year after bye week, though. But other than that, they've been. So
they threw something new at him. Right? They threw something new at him. They put a running back and quarterback.
Absolutely, and it worked.
I think the other thing is Purdy has been playing well, but he's still. I don't know what's up with him this year, doing all that running around, goofy ass shit he be doing. Where he be running 10, 15 damn yards only to throw the ball out of bounds or run for 2, scramble for 2 yards. It's like, bro, what are you doing? The Chiefs defense is legit. So Shanahan's definitely gonna have to scheme up some good stuff. And Purdy's gonna have to be smart with the football. So far he has been, but I think he's spending too much time trying to make plays instead of taking what's there. And I think that they got to get that fit. So, but no, I'm gonna go with the Niners, man. I think they need a big win. They need a big win.
They need a big win, Cam, but Spagnuolo gonna blitz the fuck out of Purdy, and Purdy ain't gonna make as many plays as he's gonna try to make.
The most underrated part of this whole NFL season is that Purdy's in a contract year. That's why I'm telling you, that's the reason why he's doing all that goofy shit, because he's trying to prove that he should get 60 mil off the strength of him.
I mean, he's second in the league in pass, which is crazy.
He's playing well this season. He got to, though. That's the thing. He's contract year. Ain't got no choice. Up next,
that's a good point about the blitzing, though, FIFO. Go ahead, Nick.
Detroit Lions going to Minnesota. This the crazy thing about the NFC North is that their point differential is the best in the league throughout the whole division. Mm-hmm. It's like 16 wins and 4 losses, like some shit like that. So everybody has at least 4 wins. And what's crazy is that we're all picking the Lions, even though Shelton had Sam Darnold and the Vikings as the best teams and the best players in the league right now.
Man, we were talking about at the time who was the top 3. That's it. Who
We-
played the best in the
we
first
only
half?
1 week. We only 1 week removed from the.
Hey, it's over with now. Hey, I tell you, the real Sam Darnold is gonna come out. So,
I'll say this. I'll say this though. I hope the Vikings do well more so on the defensive side because I want Brian Flores to get a head coaching job after this. And I hope it's in the AFC East.
That Jets job may be open.
Hey, if Brian Flores goes to the Jets, Lou, hey,
That ain't gonna happen, bro.
I'm renewing my Sunday ticket just for that.
That's not gonna happen.
The Lions. I almost went with the Vikings because of the defense and losing Aiden Hutchinson. I really wanted to see how the Lions play without him for a week on the defense because Terrion Arnold is a PI waiting to happen. And the other guy ain't that damn better. So, but it's Sam Darnold, man, and I think this is going to come down to Kevin O'Connell and his coaching, and of course that defense. But I also think that the Lions have something to prove, and let's see how they do against a equal opponent. This is it. This is the battle. And we're gonna see who's gonna come out on top. This is for damn near the division. If the Lions win, they'll be tied with them.
And this is also why, going on to a slightly another topic. This is why also I feel like the Bears should stack as many wins as they can now, because that second half of their schedule is literally all division games against and other teams who are like top echelon. So I know they're on a good run right now, but they're gonna really get tested because this division is already tough, let alone facing some of the other teams they got down the line.
Is this the toughest division?
Yeah, right now this toughest division in football.
I would think so.
I still would say AFC North is right up there though too, because even though the records are looking outside of Cleveland, even though the records are saying like, I don't think anybody wants to go toe for toe with Cincinnati. I don't think people want to see the Ravens. I don't think people like to really even play the Steelers. So
I think say this is by far the toughest though, because either one of these 4 can be playoff teams and be successful. Well, other than Chicago,
I was gonna say Chicago.
They could still make the playoffs.
Yeah, they can make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hey,
but I'm saying be successful. Yeah,
Caleb, bro. Him and Jaden both tied for 2 record.
If Jaden played the Panthers and the Jaguars defense, he'll be number 1 on our MVP list.
He played some scrubs too, Nick. He played some scrubs too.
He played Cincinnati and he played Arizona. That's the only scrub defenses he played. Outside of that, he was almost about to beat Baltimore in Baltimore.
I thought he was gonna get him, bro.
Bruh.
Almost. Hey, he showed his ass.
He's perfect on 4th downs. And they've gone for like 10 times. Yep. Like he's converted on most
like
of
12 for 12 or some shit like that.
The crazy thing is that this Detroit versus Minnesota and the next game that we're talking about in Houston and Green Bay are all 1:00 games, which is insane because some of these should have been flexed for at least a prime time or
It should have gave us an NBC Sunday night football for one of these.
Like it should have been a Thursday game because this
weekend
the Saints and the Broncos. Who wants to watch? I'm not watching that.
We got Houston versus Green Bay. Houston is traveling to Wisconsin to face the Packers. This is their first biggest test to me of the season, especially as a young team on the road going against another team at home who's just seen, like Lou was saying, the coach is clicking, the quarterback's clicking. They may have the deepest receiving core in the NFL. It may seem like they're a bunch of no names, but they can ball.
No graphic for that one, I don't believe.
All right. So who did y'all get?
I forgot who I picked.
I'll tell you who I got. I got I think this is, let me see what I sent to Jalen before I start talking shit.
I got you. I'll go. I picked the Packers on this one.
I can't remember who I picked.
I went with Houston. Packers too.
I picked Houston.
Where are they playing at?
Green Bay.
I picked Green Bay.
Yeah, give me the Packers.
So FIFA,
everybody picked the Packers with me.
You and Ken picked the Texans.
No, I picked the Packers.
Oh, so me, Ken, Nick, and Shelton picked the Packers.
So I'm the only one pick Houston.
Why you got Houston, Lou?
I think they've been solid in what they've been doing, especially since well, I mean, Nico just got hurt, but they had some injuries before, and now they've been able to mend that up. And it seems like they've been playing a lot better lately against teams, especially with like just wrapping games up and the defense that they've been showing. So I thought that they would do a good job against Love, who I think is doing a great job, but I don't think that he's ready for the defense that they are going to put out there against him as far as the Texans. So I picked, because I think Stroud is a little bit better right now than Love is, I picked Stroud.
Love is an interception waiting to happen, bro. He definitely will throw it up.
Yep.
He did that one game this season, kid. He's still getting his legs up under him.
Okay.
Still doing it though.
I'll say this. This should have been a Sunday night game.
It should have been. You're
It
right.
should have been, because
I'd rather premier quarterbacks, different divisions, top coach. Like this should have been.
They kind of mirror each other.
It's like every level. It's like you want to see these two head coaches go against each other. You want to see these two quarterbacks go against each other, and you want to see who got the better defense between the two. They both got good running backs. They both got receivers. I'd rather see this than the Jets going to Pittsburgh, but I guess. But I'm going with Love because this is my Super Bowl team to come out of the NFC, so I'm just gonna go with that. But I really feel like everything's clicking at the right time for Green Bay, and I don't really feel like, I'm not trying to say Houston's overrated or anything, because again, I believe in Stroud. I just want to see how good they are, and this is a team, if depending on how they win, if they can get a dominant win or even just a good win, that'll prove a lot to me about Houston. And then the last pick we got is the Seattle Seahawks going to Atlanta to face the Falcons. As we can see, everybody but Ken and FIFO picked the Falcons. Why y'all? So FIFO, I'll start with you. Why are you picking Atlanta?
I'm picking Atlanta. Excuse me. Picking Atlanta because I feel that they're starting to boil over. Especially on the offensive side. As much as I'm not a Kirk Cousins guy, it looks like every week he's starting to get his feet up under him. He's starting to really utilize the weapons that they have. And I feel that the Seahawks, especially after that tough loss against the 49ers, I don't think they recover just yet. I don't think they're built like that. And I feel that this is a statement win, not a statement win, but this is a very important win for the Falcons if they're going to try to really compete for the division. They need this game, and not a statement win, but what it does is it legitimizes their efforts so far this season by getting this win. And I think that they know that the playoffs are legit, and if there are going to be a playoff team, they got to win this game. This is a must win.
Come back, Kurt. The best thing they did was find a way to win some of these early games, and now they're 4-2 when they were struggling, trying to figure out and get into a time with the offense. Seattle is going backwards. Geno has leading the league in passing yards, I believe, but for every touchdown he's throwing an interception. So this looked like the Geno that we knew, minus the passing yards. But, new head coach, and this is going to be a tough team to beat, but the defense seems to be kind of coming together, and I'll be curious to see if Geno can overcome this Falcons defense.
This is my last shot with Seattle because Lou got into my hyped up the Seahawks and it got me buying me into it. Nah, I'm still counting.
2 years ago. That wasn't this year.
I'm still counting. You still had them as a playoff team. What do y'all did?
I did.
So that's the reason why I'm still going off of it. But Ken, you sounded more right. Like, because they should have won that that San Francisco game. Granted, it was a Thursday night, but I have more faith in that. To me, the person that should be coming down to earth is Kirk. y'all keep on trying to talk about Captain Kirk. I'm not gonna believe it until I see it.
You've been seeing it, Nick.
I ain't seen it yet.
What are you talking about? You've seen 6 games of it.
Hey, 500 is what they give up in this division. You see what Baker did against the Saints. Like 500 just seemed like they just give defense don't really matter in this division. But if Kirk wins, and that's the thing about me is like I'm not gonna get high or low on Kirk because he is who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So we already know that the measuring stick for the Falcons this season is to get to the playoffs. So anything less than that is a disappointment. So if he can do that for them, great. But I just don't. I'm not expecting much from Kirk week to week. 500
This is a very Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team because for most of that game Sunday, it looked like the Panthers were going to find a way to squeeze out a win, and then the Falcons got to turn over here, got to turn over there, and then next thing you know, they were off and rolling. And and that's how they do. They seem to start slow, and then they just kind of pick up the pace and win. So it's probably going to be close early. I think for Geno, it's best not to turn the ball over and fits the accuracy. He was awful in that game Thursday, where he was missing guys left and right.
Yeah, and they need to be able to run the ball too on the Falcons, and that's something that they have not done well this year.
And they got good running backs too.
We say that we say this every year about the Falcons. Like, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, but we have faith in them. And the reason why I'm bringing
when did we say that about the Falcons?
I'm
for
talking
the last
faith,
couple of years.
I'm talking about faith in them as far as like they're gonna do something like useful on offense with the weapons that they have because they invested probably the most in offensive weapons in the draft of the last 5 years.
They never had a quarterback though.
We'll see. They still may that still may be the question. We still may be asking that at the end of the season. I will say that Kyle Pitts. I don't know. Does he get re-signed? Like, what
he keeps playing well. I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if he gets re-signed, then like it's gonna be a short deal. I mean, a small number because he ain't. When they go up to the office and say, "All right, why are you asking for this big number?" You're like,
he gonna say, "Ritter was my quarterback."
Yeah.
And this other guy, I can't even remember his name. But look at him now with Kirk Cousins. He's
running the form. He's doing what you expect him to do at this point. He's going to earn a contract.
He should be the best tight end in the league.
The odd man out, I think, is going to be Drake London because I definitely think they're going to pay Bijan. I think they're going to pay Kyle. I don't think they can afford to pay Drake London.
What? I'll pay Drake before I pay Kyle?
I wouldn't.
I'll trade Kyle to Kansas City for a second round pick right now.
Oh, hey, Drake London is balling though, FIFO.
That's what I'm saying.
Is. No. Look, there's a business side to this. He's gonna want the most money out of everybody that we just named, which is why I don't think that they're gonna be able to afford him. So that's the reason why I'm picking Drake London to be the odd man out. It's not because he's trash. It's not because he's not worthy of being on the roster and not worthy of being paid. It's just you're not going to be able to afford to pay him because you got a first-round quarterback on the bench. You have, Captain Kirk over here that's the captain of the bank. And then Kyle Pitts, for the talent he has, because his numbers don't substantiate it, you're going to be able to get him at a discount. Bijan, similarly, because running backs just don't get that type of money. And then obviously we know that he is a weapon, so you might as well sign him. But I think Drake is not going to get the money he wants if he stays.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, let's go through these super chats real quick. Starting with Jordan Ullman and members chat. Who's the surprise team in the NBA this year?
Houston.
Do the Knicks qualify as a surprise?
Don't do that. Don't do that, Lou.
Surprise bad.
I'm just wondering. Do the Knicks qualify?
I like the Houston big FIFA.
They got They got a big trade. I'm rooting for the Knicks this year.
The Knicks they were already top 3 before this trade. They gonna be top 3 definitely.
They got Cat now.
I don't know if y'all FIFA. I know you've been watching some
finals.
Of these
Should it be finals appearance with Cat now?
It should be Eastern Conference Finals appearance. Yes,
I'm rooting for the Knicks this year.
Don't tell me that.
They should go far.
That's it, then. y'all done. Y'all done.
Thoughts on Tomlin potentially benching Fields?
It'd be a dumb move.
How sorry Fields is. It shows how sorry Justin Fields is.
I think it'd be a dumb move, especially starting him against the Jets. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
Especially with the offensive line that they have. It's hard enough. Justin Fields, luckily, can escape some of the pressure that he's been under, there's no way Russell Wilson can escape the same way that Justin Fields had.
Y'all have been apologists for Justin Fields. If Mike Tomlin, as great a coach as he is, looking at this is like, if I can be 4-2 with this terrible person at quarterback, imagine what I could do with
What
Russell
did he do to you, Lou?
Like imagine what I would be able to do if I had a competent
Lou,
quarterback.
you got more hate in your heart for Justin Fields than you do.
I don't
for
hate
Jared
him.
Jones.
I
But
don't
Lou,
hate him.
Texas for
But
me.
Lou,
I just know he's a bad quarterback. I just know he's a bad quarterback.
Didn't he
Well,
just
Lou, let me ask
make
you this,
excuses
Lou.
for Jared Jones?
Let me ask you this, Lou. If they do make the switch to Russ and they lose the next couple games,
And put Justin Fields back in.
but then at that point
That's
you're doing like,
horrible.
what are we
Too
doing?
late.
Like, what are
It's
we
that
doing?
simple.
What are you doing?
But if I'm looking at it and I'm saying I'm 4-2 with this dude who's barely able to be a NFL quarterback, and I know I got somebody right here who's won a Super Bowl,
But you
I want to
realize
try to
Tomlin-
see what that looks like.
You realize Tomlin doesn't have that type of luxury where he can just do that.
Now you're going into your narratives. Nope,
I'm
that's
no,
not
no,
true.
I didn't say he was going to get
Tomlin
fired.
ain't on no hot
I
seat
like-
of getting
I didn't
fired. He
say
can
he
do
was
whatever
gonna
he
get-
wants to.
I didn't say he was going to get fired, but I'm just talking about those are also losses on his record too. You know what I'm saying? Like him having the record he has isn't just a benefit to the Steelers; it's a benefit to keep Mike Tomlin there.
I don't
And the
think he
reason why
looks
we-
at. I don't think he looks at Russell Wilson and says, "I may lose these games." I think he looks at him like, "Okay, I got a better chance at winning with him in here."
I'm not saying you're wrong with it. I'm just saying like if they do lose 2 games and they have a losing record with Russell Wilson versus Justin Fields, and then you're telling me he's gonna go back to Justin Fields, that looks weird. That looks
It
like
will,
how FIFA,
but-
it look like how FIFA look right now.
don't agree.
What is he doing?
He knocked out. He did his passion.
No, I'm not knocked out, bro. I got sinus issues right now.
He's shocked y'all talking about Justin Fields.
All right. Well, yeah. I think that he has to put somebody in that can play quarterback, so they can really make a run. Fields is
They try to
just
act like
gonna be a
this is
game
me hating Justin Fields, Ken. He's not a good quarterback. That's
I
all
watched
it
the games.
is.
It doesn't
God.
look good. He's just able to make plays with his feet. Just get ready, because Russ almost out of here. Anyway, Rashawn Davis, Nick and Spike, Burrow put up 17 against the Giants as the second best QB. Let's see how y'all bail him out. You know, I was watching that game and I was thinking that Nick, you had to be one confused fan, bro. Because every time the Giants, the Bengals make a play, we're like, yes, go get him. And then the Giants were like, you damn suck. What the hell y'all doing? How y'all let Chase do that? He was probably going back and forth like
You can't root for 2 teams, Ken. That's
I
why you
wasn't-
can't root for 2 teams, Ken.
He ain't saying that about the
This is
Giants
the
though in a while.
reason
Though. I
why.
noticed that.
I told y'all. First of all, I've been told y'all, and I told y'all the playoff game they had. I was like, as a Giants fan, it's happy that they're in the playoffs. But if he win that game, I knew I was like, that's gonna curse us because they're gonna re-sign him for a deal, and that's what happened. That's what happened with the Giants. I'm not with the Giants until they get rid of Daniel Jones. But I still, I want nice things for Brian Dable because I don't want them to get rid of him because I want them to get a new QB.
Now
But
let me say this.
but during the game, hold on. But during the game, I was upset because I'm like, out of all the times the offense ain't showing up, they choose the day that the defense is playing really well, and they may lose to Daniel Jones because I knew if they lost to Daniel Jones, I was gonna call out like Q. Me and Q was just y'all might as well be in the studio if that's the case because I wasn't gonna show up if they lost to Daniel Jones, but they pulled it out. Burrow did his thing. You can't say nothing about Burrow, in my opinion. Burrow, the Giants' defensive line was killing him, yet he made the plays he needed to win the game. And that's we talked about that earlier with some other QBs like Patrick Mahomes. No matter how it looked, as long as he get the dub, that's all that matters, I guess.
So I get heat for leaving the Panthers, but Nick says he's leaving because of Daniel. I didn't leave the Panthers for players. I left the Panthers for ethical reasons. He left for players.
I didn't say I'm not a Giants fan. I just said I'm not talking about them.
You said I ain't a Giants fan since Daniel Jones is gone. That's what you said.
I said I'm not dealing with.
He got 2 teams. That disqualifies it all together. Like saying I'm a Giants fan and a Bengals fan is crazy. Being able to have a team to fall back on is insane. I wish I had a team to fall back on, Nick. I wish I could say, well, you know what? I like the Titans too. Like, no, nigga, you got
need to
one
see the fall
team.
forward, back, sideways. You need to fall because Dallas.
I'm with the Bengals. I told y'all, if the Bengals and Giants is in the Super Bowl, I'm rooting for the Bengals. So my heart is with the Bengals. However, I do root for the Giants too because they won me some money and they also proved that Tom Brady ain't who y'all think he is.
I'm with you on that one, Nick. Hey, Joe Burrow mean mugging after that touchdown run was
that was hilarious.
Bruh. During that play, I couldn't even believe it as I was watching it. Because one, I was like, I didn't think Burrow was that fast. Second of all, I was like, I hope he don't get hurt.
Yeah, that too. But he better dump MAGA because I think ever since he came out, bro, he ain't been winning.
Bro, he ain't with MAGA, bro. You see one accidental photo.
Accidental?
They tapped him on the shoulder. He turned back and they said, "Cheese."
Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. He's with MAGA.
Hey, I seen him in that Jerry Jones picture, Nick. I could have swore I seen him in that Jerry Jones picture.
He got the MAGA hat hanging in his pocket.
No, he don't, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that to my quarterback.
They got a salary bump at the bail bondsman job he been working.
Hey man, Tom.
I didn't say nothing about the Bengals. I wasn't gonna beating the Giants is not something they have to get over 500 for me to talk about them again. I ain't saying nothing to that point.
I remember when Tom Brady had that damn red ass hat in his locker room. Bro, he got rid of that shit. And he started hanging out with black folks. He took AB in. He let AB stay in his house.
Stay in his house.
He had LeBron performing
this. You know how desperate you got to be to let AB stay with you.
He was like, He said, y'all not going to do this to me. He disowned old boy. Serious question. Speaking of the Giants, has there been a worse quarterback be given this long a starter as a starter than Daniel Jones? 6 years is crazy.
Nope. Was Trubisky? No. How long was Trubisky a starter?
2 years.
It wasn't 6 years.
It wasn't more than 2. I was gonna say, the worst quarterback given this long is gonna be Trevor Lawrence.
Nah, but Trevor better than Danny Dimes though.
Is he? You look at the stats. If you look at the stats, they got the same.
They're about the same, people.
We all know. We all know that there's a bias. Correct. I would assume everybody does. Black quarterbacks are judged on a much harder scale than white quarterbacks, and there's no two ways to shake this stick. Because we hear so often about the good parts to certain white quarterbacks. Yet black quarterbacks in the same position catch heat. You got some black quarterbacks with winning records, i.e. Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts. List goes on and on and on. They have winning records, yet they catch more heat than quarterbacks. They black. And if they were white, they wouldn't catch as much heat as they do, even in a win. You see some of those white guys with losses, and it's nowhere near the same hate. You just don't see it. And I'm just being real. You don't see it. Daniel Jones does not get anywhere near the smoke that he deserves. And a lot of those
especially being in New York too.
Yeah, they give him a pass. Now, I'm not saying that they don't talk about him. It's just that they're not main news even when they're not playing well. Even Dak Prescott, for that matter, Lou, Dak catch a lot of heat, man. And it's in
as he should though. But let's not convolute anything. Like Dak needs all the heat that he's getting. He's the highest paid quarterback in the league. But you can't depend on you can't depend on him for shit.
And to me, Sheldon, I get what your point is, and I agree with it. However, it's hard to make apologies for a losing quarterback in general, regardless if they black or white. So it's just kind of like
right. But that's what I'm saying.
You want them not to be grade hard, but they don't. But they're not doing anything to deserve praise either. You know
that's what I'm saying. They're not losing quarterbacks though.
Yeah, to your point, Sheldon, I do agree that Daniel Jones receives a lot less criticism than someone like Justin Fields does.
Yeah.
Or even when you have Russell Wilson over the last 2 years, how he struggled, they don't compare those struggles to, Sam Darnold did this shit for 3 to 4 years and now he's doing good and he's right. We want him to be MVP.
Right. Baker Mayfield was should have been out of the league several times. Everybody talk about how bad Baker was. Yeah, here he is. Now he did he made a comeback, but he was allowed the opportunity to do so. That story is not written very often for people. Now, Geno is the exception to the rule. Geno did get another opportunity. But when you look at most of those black quarterbacks, they looking for jobs. They're on the outside looking in.
I got go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say somebody said, I think Donovan Mason said there's a pause on what Shelton said as far as you can shake this stick more weight than what.
Oh man, pause that one.
It was like,
I said that.
I was going to appreciate that for you. I was going to let that one go, but I was waiting for somebody to come.
I didn't even hear that. That's insane.
And this is another one. There you go.
2 back-to-back. How is Will Levis still the starting QB in Tennessee? Dude is legitimately the worst start in the league, and the Titans actually have a good roster.
He's white.
And
He's
Josh
white.
Rose added to it. There's a similar situation to Deshaun minus the contract going on in Tennessee. Will Levis is holding that team back and needs to be benched. He sucks. That's loose.
Go back to what Shelton was just saying, though.
Yeah,
like it go back to what Shelton was saying about black QBs. Like Malik Willis was there. They wasn't willing to work with Malik Willis. We just gonna bring in Will Levis and let him suck. And we ain't gonna say shit about it until he figure it out. They wasn't willing to do that with Malik Willis. That's crazy.
My thing with the whole Tennessee situation is that Will Levi got a whole damn commercial contract with mayonnaise.
He put it in his coffee
before the season started. Like this, man, like any quarterback sponsored by mayonnaise is trash. That's disgusting. That's pure disgusting.
Yeah, he's playing pretty bad. We them boys. NBA season starts next Tuesday.
That's wild. That's fast.
Whippy.
Man. We may have to do it.
Lou, you need to be looking forward to this.
We're gonna have to do an NBA show.
The season don't start until June. Like we'll be good until June.
Dallas made the finals. You can hide behind the Cowboys, behind the Mavericks.
I'm definitely not doing that.
This is a good question.
I told you I'm rooting for the Knicks this year.
Is Tyreek top 5?
Tyreek Hill?
We're talking about child support payments?
That's it, Nick. That's it. That's tough, man. And part of it's
if
not
he got a good
fault.
quarterback, yes.
I was gonna say he don't have a quarterback that can even get him the ball right now. So it's hard to kind of judge him on that scale when he has. I'm talking about nobody to get him the ball.
Okay. And for him to live up to what you would expect, you want him to do shit like Deebo Samuel. Like you would expect them to start putting him at running back, start running like jet sweeps or whatever it may be for him. I don't think that's his game. His game is I'm fast. Exactly. His game is I'm fast enough to beat you in coverage, get me the ball, and let me make plays. And I think people are leaning more so towards, just get him the ball any way you can, like Deebo, and it's not his game.
No. But I disagree. I disagree because, like, look at when he was with Kansas City. Yeah, we know he'll take it over the top against double, triple team, whatever, right? But at the same time, some of his most explosive plays are a 5-yard slant that he just took it and ran with it, and he's splitting defenders. So I think part of his game is the short yardage game. I don't disagree where it's not a handoff game, but just sweeps, you're saying screens, things of that nature, the short game, that is part of his game. And that is where he is also dynamic.
They're trying that, but it's tough because you're doing it without Raheem Mostert. You're doing it without a quarterback to get it to Waddle. So it's like, it takes a lot of his threats away. You can key on what he does well and stop that because you don't have to worry about a running back. A-Chain is a good running back, but, he's often injured too. So it's really tough for them to get a rhythm. They're going to Wright, who's a good young running back, but he's a rookie nonetheless. So it's still a little different look for that team right now, completely different look rather, and it's hard for them to get the ball to the weapons.
Well, my thing is this though: if he's supposed to be as good as y'all said he is, he's supposed to at least not fall off the face of the earth. Like
it's the quarterback though, Nick.
I get that. I get that, Sheldon. But DeAndre Hopkins, I could tell you to talk to him. Mike Evans, I could tell you to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Justin Jefferson last year.
Justin Jefferson this year, I could tell you to talk to him. Like, if you're supposed to be that dude, you're supposed to at least not be, bro. He is irrelevant. That whole team is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, and we're talking about Mike McDaniel as one of the best offensive coordinators and coach. Like, do something. Like, you shouldn't fall off the hill.
Yeah, I'm like Tweets Open Doors. I forgot he was in the league, bro. Josh Bros, Shelton's hat got me thinking, besides the Wizards, is there a more relevant team in the NBA in terms of their current setup and future than the Bulls?
Yes, they're in New Orleans. They're called the Pelicans.
That's not true.
Oh man,
That is
yeah, you
definitely
can't say
true.
that.
That is
Not
definitely true. The thing we
Let
look
me
at
Zion
see.
can have a good year this year.
Yeah,
That'd be
Zion
like,
can't ball out, and you got Brandon Ingram. You got pieces there.
Yeah,
I
that's
wonder.
not true.
Let me see.
bro, the
Detroit.
A
Pelicans,
more irrelevant team than the Wizards? No. There's not
Utah.
even. I only think there's nothing to
Oh
think
no,
about.
he didn't say more than the Wizards. Besides the Wizards, is it Toronto?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Brooklyn,
I say Utah.
Brooklyn, Toronto.
I can't say Utah. Utah got some pieces.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Utah
name me
got some
one.
pieces. Laurie Marketing.
Who?
I was asking Sheldon because I knew Sheldon ain't had no damn ass.
No, I did because I bet on a couple of those players.
Ah,
Jordan Clarkson. There's a couple of pieces they got.
Toronto's up there too. I don't know who the hell they got.
Yeah, Toronto is up there.
Okay.
They got what's his name? Scotty Barnes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Scotty Barnes.
Orlando.
But
Is Orlando
that's pretty
irrelevant?
much it.
No, Orlando's
they're
relevant.
not. They're relevant.
They're
They
not.
got.
Yeah, they
got
made the
pieces.
playoffs, and Boncaro's that guy.
They got young pieces that can ball.
Vibes and stuff. Just wanted to show some love on vacation on the West Coast so I can finally watch a live show without dozing off like Spike.
Hey, we almost lost
I got
Spike
man
for a
napping
second there.
Nah, I was good today. I got
Mike
man
had to cut the
napping.
camera off and splash some water on his face.
We lost our producer. I don't know what happened to our producer. He disappeared on us too.
He got mad when we talking about the Saints.
I probably so I had to do double
He
duty.
dipped
I'm like,
out
man.
the whole Saints conversation. He dipped out. He like, fuck this.
Last one, members chat. Y'all check it out. Starting 5 Dead Sports frames per second crossover.
We should.
Interesting idea.
I can do that.
We low on the sports documentaries. They've been cranking them out. They got the Black QB one.
Yeah, we got a couple of them.
Starting 5.
Interesting idea. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down to do that. I think we missed out on a lot that we should.
Y'all watch this on 5 yet?
No, I started it, but I ain't finished it.
Yeah, I cut it off too.
What about
Damn,
you?
Hey, bro, LeBron got on there talking that bullshit. I'm like, I don't want to hear this, man.
It's the clips I seen though, they look like they're pretty good. So,
But it was just I just didn't want to see it right then. It's not saying that it was bad though.
I'm gonna save this for next week because I do want to address this and see what Marty's talking about behind being a disappointment. But we're come up on time, so we'll save that. But yeah, man, that is the show. We appreciate you guys tuning in as usual, and we'll be back. Make sure you guys subscribe to the show, hit the like button, leave a comment, share the show with some friends, and we'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
peace.
Peace.